Hi, friends.
Oh,
Welcome into the firm of Harris and Marang. Patrick Harris. Hey, that's me. Danny Marang to my left. That's Casey Smith back there on the beats, holding down the ones and twos. Happy little Wednesday to everybody. Hump day.
don't you tell me what to do.
I never tell, but it's like a nice suggestion, a gentle push, some would call it.
Off a cliff.
I went to my middle girl's 5th grade promotion today.
Oh, she didn't get relegated?
She did not get relegated. Yep. 2 for 2 going to middle school. We'll see about Bubba. We'll see about Bubba. He's in
Might have to stay in another year in the academy.
He's in 3rd grade. He's got some time, but we'll make it work. When did we start calling it promotion instead of graduation?
Then when you said it, that's the first time. I have always said graduation. You graduate from 5th grade from elementary school to middle school to high school, and high school to whatever you're going to go do.
Yeah. And I think even my oldest, when Ace was promoted from 5th grade, they called it promotion.
That's so weird.
Dude, I was hoping it was some like crazy woke thing just to get you all riled up.
I don't think it deserves a whole graduation scale to it, but
I mean, graduate.
I'm promoted.
No, I like graduation. When you change schools, it's a graduation.
Yeah, you are leaving. You completed the task.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not all sold on that.
You graduate elementary school. You graduate middle school. You graduate high school. You graduate college.
Also,
promotion is K through 4, or 6 through 7, and then 9 through 11. Those are promotions.
Okay, yeah, you made it to the next grade.
You're going up in leagues. You're still in the spot.
So they name all the kids as they go across, right? And it's in alphabetical order, so I know when my girl's going to go. And the teachers' reactions, because they give everybody a fist pump as they go by, and the teachers have certain reactions to certain students, and you kind of know, like,
good kid, kid.
Well, Danny, it's real hard to fail kids these days, so you made it. Keep on moving. Because what is the option? Like, I have Danny Marang, my terrible worst student in my 5th grade class. What am I going to do? Keep him another year? You are now somebody else's problem.
That's a bigger issue.
You are now going somewhere else, amigo.
You're what the French call
les incompetents.
Yeah.
What?
Case, what was your GPA scaling when you were in high school? Was it 4.0 or 5.0?
It was 4.
Okay.
Oh, I've never even heard of 5.0.
So I just found this out. My soon-to-be stepson, he's telling me his grades, and he's telling me how they do the grading now. It's like they don't do percentiles. They do a 1 through 4 and then 5 if you got like AP classes. And I was just like, dog, you just like when I don't know about you guys, but I had the plus minus scale, B minus, B plus, B or B plus, A minus, A plus. Like now that didn't impact your GPA. But it was like if you got the difference between a 90 and a 97 in a class, like it was like that was how they did the slotting. Like that did exist. Now that doesn't exist. And it goes up to a 5.0. And I was like, what do we do? What?
I think
I took AP classes, like you get bonus credit for now. Like if you get if you get a B in an AP class, it counts as like an A in a standard class.
And that's how
I had kids who graduated in my class with like 4 6s, 4 7s.
So you did have the scaling.
You did have it, yeah.
Yeah. So even though it was a 4, but you had the scaling.
No one ever made it to 5.
Dude, that kid was smoking weed in the parking lot, man. He ain't in AP classes.
Yeah, hey, I'm a history nerd.
Yeah. AP history?
AP history.
Yeah. Shout out my AP history teacher.
I think that's why I saw some kids have like a 4.2. I think at my school.
Oh, you had it then.
You could have got a 4.2.
Oh, see,
I think so.
4.0 was the highest we had.
But I don't remember AP classes. We had honors classes.
Same thing.
But I don't know. I don't remember if you could take an AP test.
Yeah, we had
to
AP.
get AP. Maybe you could. Maybe you could.
You didn't take any, huh?
I mean, I'm good at school. Like I'm not great at math. I was just texting with my wife. I'm not great at math, but I was in higher math classes.
Yeah. I was done with math my sophomore year.
I took AP chemistry as a class. I was not about to take that test.
Yeah, there was no way I was taking AP physics. No way I was taking that. But AP English, AP social studies, oh yeah, baby.
Did you have AP social studies or AP history?
I had, let's see.
Because we had history.
AP US is what ours was called.
I think my freshman year, it's Washington State history. Sophomore year, US history. And then senior year must have been social studies. I think it's social studies.
Yeah, okay. I think we did all of our Oregon history in like elementary, middle school. I don't think I didn't have any Oregon history in high school.
Yeah, you're not proud enough.
Don't care.
Not proud enough
Not
of your
from here.
state of Oregon. Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregonian.
Oh.
If you got an Oregonian sticker on your car, honk your horn right now.
There's a lot of people honking. A lot of people honking. I don't know if you know this. There's quite a crossover between sports and guns.
I do know this. I do not participate in it, but I do know this.
We'll get you there.
I was walking across the street to get some coffee before the show, and they just painted the lines out there, like the yellow.
Oh yeah.
The yellow lines, and I saw the flagger car that says "Don't drive on lines" as it's painting the new lines.
Sure.
So I look to my left to cross the street. I see that. I look to my right to make sure there's no cars coming to hit me, and I see this truck with a trailer on it who is taking a right turn just down the street.
Goes right across them.
Goes right across it, and I can
Drags
see
the yellow paint.
the wheel well, or his tire on his trailer is bright yellow, the color of my sweatshirt right now. Just bright yellow. He's going to get out and be like, "The hell is this?"
The dude who painted the lines probably saw that in the rear view and just went,
Oh yeah, dude, the guy's not even 2 blocks away.
He's doing
Not even 2 blocks away.
He's doing
have
that.
to
Not my
double
problem. No,
back.
that's a not my problem.
And now you can see there's a little
trying to
trail
track-
of there's a
yeah.
little trail of one yellow wheel turn.
We've got a bunch of spots in our neighborhood where they poured concrete where people walk their dogs. There's like dog footprints in the concrete everywhere, every freaking where. It's kind of cute, but it's like, come on, man.
to be fair, when that happened in my neighborhood growing up, everyone was writing their names, writing
Oh, yeah.
whatever we could in the concrete.
Danny, did we just realize that we're at the age of like yelling at kids for writing their names in the concrete? Like, come on, man! They just did that.
Yeah.
You're gonna ruin it? Are we that old now?
I guess so.
For the last time, would you please stay off my
Yep.
freaking grass?
That's what it is, dude. I still don't walk on people's grass. My dad told me not to do it. He was like, "You always use someone's walkway."
Oh, dude, military beat that into me.
My father has been gone for 15 years, 13 years, something like that. And every time I'm like, dude, Dad would get so mad at
I
me.
only do it at my parents' house because that's just I'm not walking around.
You cut through the grass at your parents' yard?
Oh, every time.
Oh, dude, you piece.
They also have cars that are parked in the way of the walkway, so it's always, I'm not going to bob and weave through a truck just to get to the house.
Yeah, we've got one of the cool things about our neighborhood is we've got the dog waste disposal bins like all over the place. So you don't have to carry bags of poop everywhere with you when you're out walking your dogs.
Love those things.
They are great, but sometimes like they're a little off the beaten path. Like they're pretty spread out. Like I shouldn't say pretty spread out. They're excuse me. There's a fair amount of them in the neighborhood, but sometimes you got to cut across some paths to get there. And I'm always like, I'm not gonna walk all the way around this, then walk all the way back that. And I always like I can feel like I can feel the eyes of my drill sergeant like burning in the back of my head. Don't you dare touch that grass. Don't you dare touch that grass. And I'm like, you can see it. There's like this mild hesitation before I put that first step on the grass. And I'm like,
Look around both shoulders.
yeah. And then I sprint across it and then sprint back. Like, I didn't do it. I swear. But it's the little things. And the shout out to YouTubes who are teachers who are saying they have B and C students that can't write a complete sentence. It's like, yeah, do kids get held back now, or they just kick you on?
Absolutely not. This texter says I taught for 15 years from elementary to middle to high school. Not a promotion or graduation. Nothing has to be earned. All the kids are pushed through. It should be called a transfer. We're just transferring problems to somebody else.
The transfer market, but
Yeah.
it's free transfers.
Yeah. And the middle school just takes them because they need the numbers.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, all right.
And I love this text line. It says, I thought lowercase was about to say his parents had cars parked in the grass. No, that'd be my grandfather.
Yeah.
My grandfather has a full Sanford and Son setup.
Yes.
Dude, I can't imagine what my neighborhood would do if I had a car parked in my lawn.
Oh, dude, don't get me wrong. I love my family. We grew up really poor. They do well now. There's some redneck tendencies in my family. There's always a broke down car parked under a tree off the driveway.
My grandpa traded a car for apple wine and pie.
I don't have redneck tendencies. I got white trash.
Oh, we have redneck tendencies.
Dude, I grew up in a Roseanne household. Okay,
okay.
Like we related to that show.
Yeah. No, I get it. We have more redneck tendencies. Don't get me wrong. There's a little trash sprinkled in there, but
I think everybody's got a little bit of trash to them at some point.
yeah,
this is America after all.
To be honest, if you don't have that,
I'm concerned.
I'm concerned.
And you might be a little spoiled.
Yeah, it's like, look, you can have the silver spoon, but it better have been dipped in some Robitussin.
I
once or
need a
twice.
little
Yeah.
bit of garbage.
You know what I mean? Like,
There's a little bit of like rust stain on the spoon.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, I don't want, if you're out there brushing your silverware,
I can't handle that.
I can't trust you.
It might need to have a little bit of a bend in it.
Yeah, right. It's
So I
it's
know
clear.
so I know it's been used.
It's clearly been, the butter knife has clearly been used to open something it wasn't intended for. And it's got like a little bit of like it's been bent and then bent back a few times.
You refuse to wait for the ice cream to melt a touch so you can scoop it. So the
Mm-hmm.
spoon has been completely bent because it's stuck in the ice cream.
And he always used the same one.
Always use the same one because I already ruined one. It's like when you take knife hits, you got to hide those knives from your parents now forever because
Mm-hmm.
you can't put them back in the drawer.
No.
If they're on the coils, no, dude, you can't put those back in the drawer.
No.
Mom's going to look at you like, what the hell is this? And dad's going to be like, nice job. I mean, no, bad.
bad. No, it's
Why do all your Gatorade bottles have holes in them?
Yes, in the caps, yes. Why is this 2-liter cut in half? You're like,
oops.
oh, the devices.
It's
Why do you have dryer sheets and empty toilet paper roll tubes in your bedroom?
yeah. I'm sure those dryer sheets didn't cause any issues at all. There's certainly no chemicals in those.
Well, that's why you blow out. You don't blow in through the dryer sheet.
Where did all of my lug nuts go?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the simple things in life.
Oakley dokley.
It's all very dumb.
Oakley dokley. We got a great show for you all today. We'll take a peek at Game 4, as that is tonight of the NBA Finals. Oregon State introduced their new AD. I thought it'd be fun to look through some of those comments as they are picking up the pieces and rebuilding the athletic department over there. We'll have a little bit of Blazer Nuggets this hour, along with I found some financial implications if Texas Tech were to be banned by the Big 12 this year. But let's start a really cool article that came out on OPB last night that I was reading about the timeline and money needed for the Motus Center. We'll start locally. 105.1 The Fan and The Fan Sports Network. 10:17 here, Portland sports leader. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge and wet paint on the cement. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day. You can also jump over on the YouTubes as well. 1051 The Fan is your channel. Like, subscribe, jump in the chat, be nice to each other over there. We're talking about grilled cheese sandwiches, and now I'm very, very hungry and want some grilled cheese sandwiches. You like grilled cheese?
I'm okay. It's not my go-to, but if I'm gonna grill cheese, number one, it's pepper jack. Number two, it's with tomato soup.
And I think with grilled cheese, which is weird because I like blowing things up, like who doesn't like blue cheese and bacon and an onion ring on a burger, I'm down to load up. Grilled cheese, I just want bread and cheese. I don't need tomatoes in there or bacon or anything. I just want
I don't need it, but if I'm going to have a grilled cheese, it's always going to be with soup. Always going to be with soup.
When you make it, do you do butter or mayonnaise?
Oh, butter.
I know a lot of people that do mayonnaise.
Yeah, I'm not a serial killer.
Is that serial killer negotiations?
Yeah, I'm just... Ugh.
Well, I just don't like mayonnaise.
I don't either.
But my kids, they love grandma's grilled cheese. And the wife said to me the other day, she goes, do you know why?
Mayonnaise?
And I said, no. She goes, mayonnaise. I was like, ugh. Although I'm sure you could make me one if I didn't know. I'd be like, this is delicious.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things. It's a mental thing.
A cool article came across my timeline, the OPB, by Alex Zielinski, and she was writing, Portland unveils the timeline for the Moda Center deal. And I want to kind of read some of this stuff just to keep us all up to date on it. Proposals over how or whether to fund proposed renovations and what the city can get in return have fueled political debate, a signature gathering campaign, and city budget arguments. The big thing is the state has already committed $365 million. Multnomah County promised 88, and we're waiting for those to go through. Keith Wilson has also proposed 285, and a lot of this comes down to the fact that the Blazers will sign a 20-year lease. Now, I think we all agree that this is going to go down.
I would be stunned if it didn't go down. But to be fully blunt here, there are very stupid people that are on city council that want to grandstand.
Sure.
That's what this fundamentally comes down to, because that team leaving will kill this city. It will kill this city. And if you like, that's not a political thing. Like, there is nothing that brings this city together more than that. And it's not just the Blazers. It's not just the Fire. It's concerts. It's a period. It's like, there is no other thing that brings that many people together that frequently in this city.
Yeah, especially in a post-COVID world where group gatherings are really difficult to come by now.
And you've got, a 60% commercial real estate opening in Portland? Like, the city is, like, people get all caught up in the politics of it all. And don't be wrong, there are political ramifications. But like, on the corporate side of things, Portland's not doing well. And if you want to drive out one of the biggest investors in the city, they're getting $50 million in taxes alone off the sale of the team.
I'll push back a little bit that I don't think it would kill the city, but it would make it a less desired place for a lot of people, I think.
Okay, if it doesn't kill it, what is the positive growth sign if you aren't filling commercial real estate and your single venture that is, like, known is gone?
That is a fair point.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I understand that.
I'm not saying that as like a it's like, just reality is, like, you're not seeing this, like, this is not Nashville, this is not Austin, it's not Salt Lake. Mm-hmm. You're looking at smaller cities, like big metroplexes, but cities that are showing positive growth. Portland is not on that list. You go look around, Portland is not on that list. And if you want to sit there and drive a knife through it, vote to not do the renovations.
I know. I always try to keep in my brain, though, I think this is where it gets difficult for me, and this is why I'm a little five-toesy on this and can't quite figure out where I lean on it, is because I always try to remember and remind our listeners out there, too, that we live in a sports world, and sports dominate our life. We love it. It brings us so much joy and cheer and angst and anger and sadness that we forget that we are still kind of a smaller slice of the pie.
Sure.
That there aren't as many sports fans in this town or in any town as we think. Like the Knicks, okay? That's basketball mecca. That's the biggest city in America, one of the greatest cities in the world. And when the Knicks get to the finals, the city kind of, oh, yeah, the Knicks are playing. Okay, yeah, go Knicks. they're not going to really watch games, but they're like, yeah, go Knicks. And I think that's what you're talking about, is that they don't have to be Blazer fans. They don't have to be people that attend games or hell even watch them on TV. But it does bring a sense of community together. Sports can do that. And I think we all remember we played sports as kids, or our kids play sports to some degree, physical activity.
And not just that. There's no other revenue generator in the city. Portland proper. Because everybody talks about Portland. They want to know, what about Intel? What about Nike? What about Adidas? Like, they aren't generating revenue in the city. Now, Adidas' headquarters is right here in Portland, but they're not.
They're generating a ton of revenue for their companies,
yes,
but it's not really an influx in the
This
city.
is an influx of cash into the city.
It does bring people into work, so you are bringing more taxpayers
Yes.
and people stimulating the local economy. But you are right. I mean, what a sporting event does, it's why tickets are expensive, concessions are expensive, parking is expensive. You want restaurants and bars around the arenas.
It generates
because it
revenue.
generates revenue. Correct.
And then you talk about the amount of, like, the number of jobs it creates. Look, I am not sitting here saying that they should just cut this check to Tom Dundon. Like, I don't like, this is again why, take Tom Dundon out of it. Anyone who didn't have like 30, 40, 50 billion dollars, I didn't want to buy this team. Because I wanted somebody to come in and Steve Ballmer this thing and go, you know what? I'm going to spend the $2 billion. I'm going to build this place. I'm going to own it. And that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I just don't think there was a lot of people that were interested in the team.
No, and that's the thing. Is like, that's what I wanted more than anything. Because I didn't want this, and I don't think we should be cutting a little more than $500 million checks to billionaire owners who can float it.
And I think another thing that if you're on city council and you're listening to this show right now, by the way, hello, thank you.
Not all of you are bad.
I think, like Bleak brings up this point too. It's not just sports. Do you want world-class concerts, theater, and events? If so, then the Rose Garden needs upgrades. That's where I think the city council is kind of losing people a little bit. They're tying the building so much to the basketball team,
which is only 41 times a year.
Exactly, and it's so much to the basketball team, and now maybe the Fire adjacently to it, as they're now kind of married in that world.
So you're looking at roughly 50 times a year.
Yeah.
So you have 300 other opportunities throughout the year,
and that's I think where they miss the point sometimes. It's that it's not on Tom Dundon, the basketball owner, to necessarily provide all this money for it.
Especially since they sold the arena back for $1.
He doesn't own it. The city owns it. And there are so many more things that can go through. And hell, like when you see big bands, okay, like big entertainment bands,
yes,
the Taylor Swifts,
the U2s,
of the world.
You're not getting those all the time.
They aren't. And if you are Portland and you're looking about putting money into the Moda Center to renovate it, then maybe you get on Taylor Swift's tour. Because right now she's doing LA, San Francisco, and Seattle and skipping Portland. Vancouver's going through this with their MLS squad. Yep. Like the Whitecaps, that place is a dump. It sells tickets. People love the Whitecaps. They're good right now, but it needs a massive facelift.
Look, I get Blazers fans like, man, I like Moda. It's pretty good. I'm not sitting here saying that Moda's a dump. It is just nowhere close.
It can be so much better.
Yes, like the way Moda is set up was set up for it's a building that was designed in the late 80s and early 90s. Just think about the time span there. We're 40 years removed from that. The amount of technological improvement and the way that this business is conducted, just the simple thing of getting people in and out of the building. It's difficult at Moda. There's lines back up for just regular games. Because it's not designed to handle that. Then you start putting in the technology side of things and the restaurant and all the adjacent businesses. The Rose Quarter is a ghost town. It is a ghost town. So this money is just for Moda Center renovations. But if you put this in and design it looking forward to being able to anticipate having businesses in the Rose Quarter to facilitate that, so you build it to where, heck, there's a skyway that connects across the bridge that alleviates traffic. You know what I mean? Like just having those things in your head. So you push those things out to where you go, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. You turn it into a multi-use facility that includes a district, and all of a sudden, you're taking a ghost town, a literal black hole in the city of Portland.
It's my least favorite place to
There's
drive
nothing
through.
there.
I hate driving through that area.
Everything's empty. Nothing is there.
And what happens when nothing is there and everything is empty? The zombies take over.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
So, like...
If you're Tom Dundon, or if you're Raj, who own the Fire, if you're Merritt Paulson, who owns the Timbers, if you are the owner and you say, I want something specifically around my arena, okay, take Dundon, for example, what he's doing in Raleigh, wants to do that
The district,
here.
yeah.
The district. If you really want to do that, let's just say for the sake of the argument that nobody wants to do that, then that financially probably falls on you.
Yes.
If you want to take that on, that probably falls on you. However, again, I'm going to hammer this point. The Moda Center is not just the Blazers.
No.
And you have to stop presenting it that way. Dude, it's all, God, it's the words we use all the time on this damn program. Optics and aesthetics. Like, the city, if you tell people, like, I want, the Lion King to come through and not play at the Schnitz, I want it to be at the Moda. I want Disney on Ice. I want all these things. I want, John Williams to come to town and do the Star Wars score live. You're going to need to upgrade the Moda Center. You are. And it's not just, and I want to get to what the Moda Center needs here in a moment. It's not just the seats. Okay, the seats are a little cramped, yes, but it's not just that, man. They put all that money in a new Jumbotron. That's probably more sports related, but it's about concessions. It's about bathrooms. Tom Dundon said this. It's about getting into the stadium easier and getting out of the stadium easier. Because if you make that possible, people are going to spend more money. Imagine trying to get into Game 3 in New York with the President of the United States there. Like, we can make jokes that people are still waiting to get into Madison Square Garden for Game 3. And when you piss people off that way, they're less inclined to be excited and happy. And if I take my kid to a Blazer playoff game or a Fire playoff game or, Timbers playoff game at Providence Park, if we get in easily and we're having a great time and we had lunch across the street, we're having this great time, I walk in and my kid is beaming and I'm beaming and he says, Dad, can I get a jersey? I'm probably more inclined to say yes than I was if it's like, I just stood outside for an hour in the rain to get in.
You had to park 10 blocks away because there's not enough parking, because you can't go park and you're getting there 15 minutes before the game because there's nowhere to eat because you made sure you ate at home and you grabbed food on the way. Like, there's so many things that go along with this. Like, again, I don't want it to seem like I don't like the idea of just handing a $600 million check and being like, here you go. Because if Tom Dunn and his group come back in 2 years, 3 years and like, hey, we want more money to do the district, I'm going to be saying no.
Yeah, I think on the district that's on private capital. That's on private venture. I don't think the city needs to spend money for other businesses to make money.
Here's what the city can do. Get the heck out of the way.
That is also true.
Get rid of the red tape. Get rid of the nonsense that it requires in the city to get literally anything done.
503-864-6326 is the fan text line. Throw your thoughts in there. I'll read them on the other side. What does the Moda Center actually need? Let's look at what will make that place better. Danny, you are in that building more than anybody I know. You're my expert on that. We'll toss it to Casey over there with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Game 4 of the NBA Finals is tonight as we get set for a 5:30 tip-off in MSG. A home team is still yet to win a game in the series as New York comes into the contest as 2.5-point betting favorites. Make sure to catch all of tonight's Game 4 coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:30. Over to the NHL as Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final was last night. The Carolina Hurricanes evened up the series at 2-2 as they took home the victory with winning 5-3. Game 5 is tomorrow in Raleigh as early betting lines show the Hurricanes as 1.5 goal betting favorites. We are just 1 day away from the opening match of the World Cup between Mexico and South Africa. Your men's U.S. national team will kick things into action this Friday at 6 p.m. as they take on Paraguay in their first match of the group stage. And finally, your Portland Fire will be back in action tomorrow night as they take on Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces inside the Moda Center. The Fire come into the contest as 9.5-point betting underdogs as tip-off is set for 7 p.m. But make sure to tune in to all the pregame coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when we kick things going at 6:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour.
Blazer news and nuggies here in about 15 minutes. Just, I know you all need updates. So we're here to give you some updates. Some updates. Coaching updates. Tommy D, Dad. How Dad's doing right now. Dad's doing pretty good right now. Nice little win for the Hurricanes last night. Nice little win, dude. I hope both these series go 7. Just for the pure entertainment value of it. Like, I got to have the Spurs win tonight. You know, we'll get into Game 4 in the Big Nooner, but like, I got to have the Spurs to win tonight, and that's not I'm pro this team or anti that team. It's just I'm having so much fun in the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Finals that I just never going to give you up. We're talking about the Moda Center and the kind of renovations, and we can argue till we're blue in the face about politicians and if they're going to pass this or not. And let's actually kind of look at what the Moda Center needs, but I do want to read some thoughts first. The fact that concerts skip Portland and go to Seattle, Spokane, or Tacoma instead is crazy to me and points to the issues. And that's the big thing.
You should not be being passed over for Tacoma.
Without a doubt. The Tacoma Dome is old.
Yes.
That thing has been there forever. Now, they have put money into it.
Yeah, it looks like crap on the outside, but it's nice inside. Seattle, I get. Look,
Sure.
whether
you can
it's
do Lumen Field.
I mean,
Paul McCartney plays at Lumen Field.
That's what I'm saying. You have both, or not just both. You have all three. You've got Climate Pledge if they want to at T-Mobile and Lumen. Like, you have got 3 world-class facilities.
Mm-hmm. That's why they get a World Cup.
Yes, like Seattle makes all the sense in the world. The Tacoma Dome is wild.
Hey, the freeway around there is finally done. It only took them 20 years. God. I'd love for the city council to agree to give the money and in addition pledge another $100 million to go to the surrounding area if Dundon matches. See, I think that's great. That's mutually exclusive. That's like we scratch you, you scratch me. I'll give you $100 million for around the stadium if you put in $100 million too. I'll bet you Dad goes done.
Oh, on the district? If
Mom
match,
and Dad both go.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll match separately
on the district. 100%, 100%. I am in on the city giving money if Dunn and his group are going to match. But the flip side is, everybody's like, somebody said, why doesn't the billionaire just pay for it? Because he doesn't have the money.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the money, guys.
You can't also just say, like, you're a billionaire so you can pay for it. If you're Bezos,
Yeah.
Musk, Zuckerberg, like, yeah, you've got
Palmer.
FU money.
Yeah.
in today's world, just because you're a billionaire does not mean you really have FU money. You have FU money on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, yes.
You're living in a great spot. You've got an awesome house, better
You're
than
not,
mine.
Well, you're also not cutting a
mine.
check for $500 million. Like, here's the crazy one for you. Oklahoma City is building a brand new arena. City's paying for every penny.
Yeah, Jerry Jones just asked for a bunch of money from Arlington in the state of Texas to upgrade AT&T. Like, this goes on everywhere.
And so, again, this is not to say that this is necessarily a good thing, but everybody's like, well, why didn't he just pay for it? Well, because you have the examples he's going to take, and they have, to both the state and the city are, in cities with better economies, better markets, and more money, and bigger asks, they're doing it all. Mm-hmm. Your economy sucks. Why should I commit here? And that's God, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's a reasonable argument. When you strip away the politics of it, Tom Dunn is insert billionaire A, anybody there, comes in wholly new to the city, wholly new to the market, and they've done all the market analysis, they've done all the research, and they're saying, this building is not anywhere near anything else. Why would they say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend all this money when all of the indicators say that this market is not going up?
It's a bad ROI, and rich people are rich because they always have ROI.
Like, strip everything away. Strip how you feel politically. If you don't understand that, you're just not getting it. Like, I don't care where you fall politically. It is just a simple economics. You're looking at it and you're going, that doesn't make any sense.
What are they doing in Chicago right now?
You want to send the Bears to Indiana? That's your other option. You know?
To either build it up or ship them out.
Yeah. So
if Tom Dundon's on the hook for building a stadium, I don't think you're going to like where he chooses. He's going to choose cheaper land, and he's going to choose an area where you can buy all the land around it.
And he's got the support of the surrounding municipalities and cities.
And now you're in Banks, or you're in Vancouver,
or
Ridgefield,
or you're in Nashville,
Vegas. Yeah.
So, you got to figure it out.
What kind of renovations does the arena need? Again, I'm reading this article that Alex Zielinski for OPB put out. You can go find it. I'm sure you can do a quick Google search and find it. She wrote, according to an in-depth report the city commissioned in 2024, the Moda Center needs a good amount of renovations to maintain basic operations, like fixing cracked concrete and corroded steel, upgrading aging elevators, replacing stained seating and uneven aisle stairs, fire alarm maintenance, and major plumbing fixes. And that would cost about $482 over the next 20 years. So that all sounds like good money to be spent to me. And then if you only need $482, but you're asking for $600, I have to believe you're using $124 for fun stuff, right? It says the Blazers are estimating, and then this article says it's not clear what that extra would be spent on. In his memo, this city venues manager wrote that he believes the Blazers are vying for new features that may be non-negotiable. The more transformational projects are necessary to achieve a truly state-of-the-art facility and secure a long-term commitment from the Blazers.
So,
being their number one operator.
Talking with someone directly familiar with this, sat down for a couple hours with him a month ago, 2 months ago. The original report that they did, I'm trying to remember everything here, was, I think it was in 2022. Was the ask was about $400 for everything that they wanted. Well, where has the economy gone? Where has inflation gone? Where
Looks
has
around the room. Everything is more expensive.
Yes, and where oil is right now, that makes everything more expensive. So to see it go up roughly, half is not a surprise. It's just not. Mm-mm. Some of the things that you're talking about of like making it a more technologically advanced place, like one of the things that was pitched to me was like, how dope would it be if like we had an area, like when you walk into Main Moda, like when you walk off Broadway and right there in the main entrance, you got Will Call and Ticket Center to your right.
Walking down the steps.
Mm-hmm. How dope would that be if that was a watch area and you had a 70, 80-foot screen right there?
Without a doubt. For every game. What, like Jurassic Park?
Yes, it's the exact.
Like Jurassic Park.
That was the exact.
Come up with a cool name like Jurassic Park.
And that's where all the street vendors go and post up, and that's where
street meat, hot dogs, and drummer on his buckets.
Imagine if right there where the office buildings are. What if that's torn down eventually and turned into restaurant space and business space and all the things there?
Or even maybe apartment complexes for people to just walk into the moda.
Like,
and restaurants underneath them.
But those kind of things, if you're doing the renovations, you do them now. This is what I was talking about, the whole planning to build things out. You do this now.
I think there's another interesting aspect of this that just crossed my brain. If you're a taxpayer and you are concerned about your tax dollars going to this, and I've heard the arguments, and my friends, I am with you on this. The roads in Portland need a lot of work. Okay, the Portland Public School District needs a lot of work. Okay, and I understand the argument of, well, our money should be going to this instead of something else. What I will say to counter that is if the Moda Center does get upgraded and the district around that gets upgraded, that's something tangible that I can see. I can't see if Portland Public Schools are getting better.
Yeah.
Now, I have a friend who teaches in Portland Public School, and he can tell me if it's getting better or not. And I don't, if I live in North Portland, I can see that my roads are good, but I don't know if Division is good. That's something tangible that you can see your tax dollars being spent on.
And the other part of this is it's not just Tom Dunn and his group. It's not just the Trailblazers. It's not just the Fire and Raj. It's 1803 and they'll buy in a trust. Mm-hmm. Phil Knight and his group have pledged, was it $1.4 billion to that region, right?
And I don't know what Phil's kids' interests are. I don't know if they have big business interest or big sports interest to keep Dad's legacy going.
But they do have interest in?
They like
money.
going to restaurants and bars, too.
But not just that, money. Mm-hmm. And when you invest money into something and you get investments back out of it, how good is that? You know what rich people love? Making more money. Mm-hmm. You know what makes more money than anything right now? Real estate.
Yep.
Always has. Land will always make money.
And to this texter's point, why would you pay for an asset you don't own? That's another great thing. Tom, the city owns this.
Look, they knew
they
knew what they were doing when they sold the building back.
You as Portland, yeah, totally. Why wasn't this a big deal in 2024? Because they kept it quiet.
They knew.
They didn't want to be the bad guys. The Allen Estate and Vulcan didn't want to be the bad guys. Now Tommy D, Dad comes in, and someone's got to be the bad guy.
Someone says, thanks, guys.
And Dad has clearly no problem being a bad guy. Mm-hmm. That's why we get Sheil. That's why we get Mom to tell us that everything's going to be okay.
Weird how we haven't heard from Sheil in a little while, huh?
I know. What's up with that?
Interesting.
Maybe Mom's busy getting that Clyde Drexler signed USA jersey.
Go.
I got to find an email for Shield.
Right.
Dude, you got to help me find this.
I have it.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to write Mom an email. I should have done this weeks ago. Hopefully it's not sold. I got to write Mom an email and say, get that jersey. Dude, I'm telling you, when you go to Oracle, where the San Francisco Giants play, they have an area where you can see their 3 commissioners' trophies from their World Series in 10, 12, and 14. It's a really cool area. There's like a Willie Mays jersey and a bat and a home run ball.
How dope would
Barry
it be
Bonds.
if you got a Clyde Drexler, Bill Walton, Damian Lillard, Bill Shonley statue park in like a watch area?
Dude, there's Larry Doby and Jim Tomei and Satchel Paige out in center right at Progressive Field in Cleveland. It's awesome.
It's like there's so many things that can be done.
You walk off of the Roberto Clemente Bridge.
Yes.
And look at the Roberto Clemente statue before you enter Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this texter, what we really need to do is a ban on foie gras.
That's Portland.
That's Portland for you. We come back, little Blazer news and nuggets for you next. 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
In hour number 2, we'll get to a little college football, some money ramifications of this Texas Tech situation, which is not going to go away. Sorry, guys, it's not going to go away. We're going to be up in arms about it, but also some NBA draft stuff as we're getting closer and closer to the draft, and could this defensive line in the NFL get even scarier? Plus, Web Gems loaded hour number 2. But this came across, I think it was this morning, maybe it was last night, kind of getting my timeline all mixed up, that it turns out that Tiago Splitter and Micah Nori are also finalists for the Chicago Bulls coaching position.
Shocking.
Well, it tells you got 2 good candidates. Now, if you're the Blazers...
Well, I don't know if that necessarily means anything.
I mean, the Chicago Bulls are... Okay, they suck. I tried.
They've gotten it wrong.
I gave it the old college try,
I will
Danny.
say, hiring Billy Donovan was a good hire. It
was a great hire.
Billy D, in my opinion, is a great coach.
Letting Billy D walk was a bad was a bad move.
I think he walked when he saw, like, I don't like what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because they were going to give him a lot of control and a lot of money.
He's still free agent, isn't he?
Yes.
He can have all the control he wants here in Portland.
I would love Billy D here.
No offense to Joe or any of the high up execs. I'm sure you all doing a great job. I'd die for Billy D.
I love Billy D as a coach.
Do you think the Blazers? Look, there's like a rumor out there, and it's not even really a report. It's just someone's theory that Tom is busy with the Hurricanes. So
I've heard it from multiple people.
Oh, you have? So there's legs on it. That he wants to wait till the cup's over?
I don't think it's a good excuse, but it's more than a few people have said that things are slow.
Do you think if the Bulls jump on, say the Bulls want Nori, do you think that just leaves the Blazers grabbing Tiago, or vice versa? That if the Bulls jumped on Tiago, they're like, cool, we'll go with Nori.
Unless you think Lashbrook is still there.
Yeah. I just wonder, I wonder if you've got two basketball teams in 2 wildly different directions.
One is fully restarting.
Yes, a full restart. One is, in theory...
It's a new front office, transition of guys out.
And one, in theory, is on the cusp of doing something, and a new owner that wants to make a splash.
Yes.
So, do you become more aggressive as the Blazers, or do you kind of still wait this out and see what the Bulls do?
I don't think you wait. I think you go get I'm always a proponent of go get your guy.
And I think if you're Micah Nori, and definitely Tiago, and what was the third guy's name?
Tyler Lashbrook.
Yeah. If you're those guys, you have to look around and say, I'd rather have the Blazer gig than the Bulls gig.
Well, that depends.
I think as a coach, because what always scares me is I remember this went down in Houston, okay, and the Padres have done this as well. When their team is really bad, when the Astros were really, really bad, they had a manager that everybody knew was going to be garbage, and they made him deal with the garbage, and then went and got Dusty
Brett
Baker.
Brown with the 76ers. It's the process Sixers.
And then went and got Dusty Baker, and they won a World Series. Cheating, but they won a World Series. I think if you're a coach, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the caretaker manager.
No, there's that's what I'm saying. It does kind of depend on the situation, but you also will get more leeway. Mark D got leeway.
That's true. They were bad. After Paul George, they were bad.
You've got Will Hardy in Utah. Hardy is looked at as a very good coach. Jordy Fernandez in Brooklyn is looked at as a very good coach. Jordy just got extended. Will Hardy does not want to lose.
And Brooklyn sucks.
They know what the ask was. Now, the Jazz going into next year, when they add one of Darren Peterson and AJ DeBonsa to Walker, Kessler, Laurie Marketing, Jaren Jackson Jr., Keontae George.
I think they're a playoff team.
They're a playoff team. And he's going to be like, finally!
I guess, yeah, it's where the direction of the team wants to go. And if you get assurance
and if you buy in, and that's the thing is, in Brooklyn and Utah specifically, those two coaches have the full, unadulterated blessing and backing of those front offices. Those are their guys.
And from what I've seen, Chicago, post-Michael, there's a little flash of D. Rose. That's not a place that I fully want to believe in.
No, not yet.
Not with Reinsdorf.
Well, and that was the thing was with the Gar-Pax, Gar and Paxson. They just held their guys. Hoiberg was their guy. Tibbs was their guy. And again, I think Tibbs is a great coach. I love him.
But it wasn't a great tenure.
No.
They couldn't get over the hump, and then D. Rose fell apart.
And then they brought in Karnisovas, who was supposed to save it, and it just seemingly every deal they did was like, why are you doing this?
So, he's such an intricate, kind of weird guy.
Oh, he's a different dude.
And what works for him is, he has said when I go to the draft and I look at the combine and I look at guys, I think, what do they look like in a team huddle? Mm-hmm. Do they look good in our jersey?
It's soft skills.
Does it make sense?
Yes. It's not just basketball talent or physical attributes. It's a lot of mental EQ, the emotional quotient, not just intelligence quotient.
So I wonder if it's more of the flip side, and maybe secretly Chicago has offered the job to Micah Nori, and he's sitting there going, we'll wait to see what the Blazers do.
Well, Nori's also a guy who said publicly, last week that he hasn't had advanced talks with anybody. Now, that could have changed.
Sure.
I haven't checked in on Nori in the last 48 hours.
But if you're these two guys specifically that are up for two jobs, and for my money, they're both going to be head coaches next year.
Yeah, because Nori could end up in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. There's still a Dallas opening. And I truly believe that you would rather be a Blazer coach than the Bulls.
Holistically, yes.
With the draft capital that you could hold on to, you have young talent that remains to be seen on some of them, but are still young talent, controlled contracts.
We'll at least have one here next year.
And you've got vets. Whether you move Jeremy Grant or not, you have Jeremy, Dame, Drew. You've got an all league defender. You've got an all league scorer in Denny.
Here's the funny thing about this. I heard,
and you can move that capital for a Giannis or fill in the blank because Dad wants a big splash. You've got a lot of options here in Portland.
I heard the boys this morning. We can talk about the Giannis and Jason stuff a little bit later if we want to. But the idea of moving for Giannis, I think Sprague asked Dirt who are the three best players on the team? Who are the three best players on the team right now?
Denny,
Dame, Drew.
You can make an argument for Donovan or two.
Yeah.
Are any of those guys involved in any trades you're talking about?
I heard them say this. No, they're not, because they shouldn't be.
It's not just that. It's because you have the draft capital, because you have Jeremy, because you have Shaden, because you have Scoot. Heck, if you want to put Young in there, I wouldn't because of ownership.
And if you're moving Denny and Drew, I want more than Giannis.
Or I want younger Giannis.
Yeah. I want more. If I'm moving Denny, Drew, and picks, because that's what they want
I better be getting an undoubted dyed-in-the-wool top 5 player.
I want Giannis and Cat.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be disastrous on the same team, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
I want two level,
I want
those
high.
level. Yes. I want Giannis and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, give me Luka and LeBron.
Exactly. Yes. That's what I want.
Yes. So, but I think when you're talking about as a coach, that whatever happens, the core of your team is not getting touched.
Correct. You've got a big man, which, hey, I don't know if you know this, but in the West, we're back to the 90s. Everyone needs a big man now. Everyone needs a big man now. If you're Sam Presti, I think the biggest question he has to ask himself this offseason is not what he does with his trio. It's, can I afford to keep Isaiah Hartenstein? Because you have to have a center in this league. That's why the Lakers, I think, are in trouble, because Ayton's not it.
Yeah.
He's not it.
It's a tough place to be.
And to your point about Sabonis in Sacramento, he's just not big enough. He's not strong enough.
There's plenty of talks about him being moved to Charlotte, so
I kind of like that move for Charlotte.
I think that's a bad idea.
Well, you just don't like Sobs. You just don't like baby Sobs.
Well, no, it's who are you? If you had Alex, if it's DC doing it, where you have Alex Sarr,
you need a true center next to him.
Not just a true center. You need a Sarr, Mobley, Jaren, Chet. You need somebody who's hyper mobile and versatile, because Sobs is 6'10" and got cement blocks for feet.
Yeah.
So you got to find a way to kind of make that work. But coming back to the Tiago Nori Lashbrook coaching situation, if you're Portland, go get your guy. And I don't want to hear about this. Well, the Hurricanes are in the Stanley Cup Finals. Just go get it done. And then
it is a weird excuse.
It is, but it's also, I've heard dumber excuses for things. But adjacent to that too, Stein reported it. Funny enough, he said this morning the exact same thing that I said on air yesterday. There's nothing imminent with a Giannis deal, but it does seem like it's going to come together probably over the next week.
Yeah, we'll circle back on this in closing arguments. I like that idea. Let's come back to this. We'll do that at the end of the show. Let's get into hour number 2, make a pivot over to college football. Some numbers came out. If you are to ban Texas Tech because of this Brendan Sorsby issue, what's that going to cost you? That's a lot of money. We'll go there next. Hour number 2, 105.1 The Fan.
For
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Game 4 of the NBA Finals is tonight as we get set for a 5:30 tip-off in MSG. A home team is still yet to win a game in the series as New York comes into the contest as 2.5-point betting favorites. Make sure to catch all of tonight's Game 4 coverage over on 9:10 AM when pregame starts at 4:30. Over to the NHL as Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final was last night. Carolina Hurricanes evening up the series at 2-2 as they took home the victory with winning 5-3. Game 5 is tomorrow in Raleigh as early betting lines show the Hurricanes as early 1.5 goal betting favorites. We are just one day away from the opening match of the World Cup between Mexico and South Africa. Your men's U.S. national team will kick things into action this Friday at 6 p.m. as they take on Paraguay in their first match of the group stage. And finally, your Portland Fire will be back in action tomorrow night as they host Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces inside the Moda Center. The Fire come into the contest as 9.5-point underdogs as tip-off is set for 7 p.m. But make sure to tune into all the pregame coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when we get things going at 6:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks.
Hour number deuce here. If you're missing the first hour, you can download that on the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com. The Odyssey app, wherever you get your stuff. If you missed Dirt and Sprague this morning, they had a nice conversation about Giannis, I believe, in the 8 o'clock hours. You can go back and check that out as well, or if you missed Prime Time or Happy Hour, wherever you get yours. Rewind, fast forward, except for in the future, for that would be impossible. A little bit to get to this hour. Web Gems is a good one because, well, we're circling back around on this. And is the D-line about to get scarier in the NFL? Well, Schefter says it might, so we'll get to that as well, plus some NBA draft talk. But let's chat about Texas Tech real quick, okay? If you are living under a rock, welcome back to the free world. Brendan Sorsby was granted the injunction and will only miss 2 games and will be the starting quarterback for Texas Tech next year, despite gambling on his own team, including his team to hit the under at halftime for Indiana Hoosiers when he was there. First off, real quick, Danny, where do you want to go? Do you want to go money or do you want to go Kirby Hokut?
Let's go money first.
Money first. So John Wilner put this out on Twitter yesterday. If Brett Yormark and the Big 12, Brett Yormark is the commissioner of the Big 12, implements a scheduling ban on Texas Tech athletics for the 2026 season, at a minimum, it would be on the hook for about $40 million from lost football media revenue. That's just Texas Tech football, okay? Last time I checked, they got a real nice softball program over there. Hey, they got a good basketball program
Yes,
there?
they do.
There you go. So you're just talking, at minimum, $40 million on the hook.
And any tournaments they get invited to in basketball, that's gone.
Well, yeah, and we saw like all these schools that are like, we're going to refuse to play Texas Tech, which I think is kind of a bullshit argument. Got some preseason college basketball games that they're going to be playing. They've got Louisville at the Players Era Classic, whatever that one's called, and then they could play St. John's after that.
And they're getting like $1 million each for those. That's gone.
And, you know, I don't know what Patino's going to say. Is Patino going to say, no, I don't want to play Tech? I think Patino's of the old school style, and he's been a bag man long enough to go, I don't care. We'll play anybody. That's just kind of his attitude. But that's the ramifications, and that's why, again, I keep going back and forth with new information on whether Sorsby will play or not. And I think the reality is that I think he will play because there's too much money on the line. Once I start seeing money numbers, or that he's not going to play, sorry. Once I see money numbers, then we're talking. Because the only reason people don't want to play Texas Tech is because of Brendan Sorsby. You're going to tell me that Brendan Sorsby playing quarterback for your football program is worth, at minimum, $40 million? I don't buy that.
Here's something I think to consider. Nate Longshore is a quarterback guru, quarterback developer from high school all the way through the NFL. He's kind of been around for like 20 years.
The dude.
He had a post on Sorsby that I think is really interesting. Heaven forbid, nuance. Nuance. And this pertains to Texas Tech. It's long, but bear with me here because I think it's important. I understand why people are uncomfortable with the Brendan Sorsby situation. Betting on sports as a college athlete is serious. Betting connected to your own team creates an obvious integrity concern. Nobody has to minimize that. But
I don't think anybody's even trying to say that.
But there's another side to this that college football people should at least be honest enough to acknowledge. When a player becomes part of your program, he becomes part of your football family. It does not mean you excuse everything. It does not mean accountability disappears. It means you do not abandon him the second the situation becomes difficult, public, or uncomfortable. There's more to this because I think already people are going to go, "Arr!" There's a difference between defending the person and defending the mistake. Texas Tech is in an impossible spot. Deep down, they may have hoped the final ruling would remove the decision from their hands, i.e. the court case, right? Exhaust every option, support the player, let the process play out, and if he is ruled ineligible, you accept it. That is the cleanest outcome for a program trying to balance loyalty, discipline, public pressure, and competitive integrity. But now the court has ruled he's legally allowed to play. That changes the structure of the decision. If Texas Tech turns its back on him now, what message does that send to every player and family they recruit? They will fight for you until the pressure gets too loud? That we will call you family when you're producing, but distance ourselves when standing beside you becomes inconvenient? If I were recruiting against Texas Tech and they abandoned him after he was legally cleared to play, I would use that every single time. Not because the mistake does not matter, but because trust matters. Families want to know what happens when their son is injured, struggling, accused, embarrassed, or sitting in the middle of a situation nobody wants attached to the program. Accountability and loyalty are not opposites. You can believe justice should be served. You can believe the integrity of the game matters. You can believe gambling violations deserve real consequence. You can also believe that a program should stand by its people through the full process, not just the easy parts. That's the hard part of family. Thought that was pretty interesting.
We're already kind of up against it, so we'll take a break and come back on the Texas Tech statement as well. That's kind of where theirs goes as well. There's some more clips in there that we'll get to. It's going to run too long that I'd rather break real quick. But that's kind of the part of this is
it's not black and white.
It's not black and white.
This is like what I was talking about through this process. Like, we can all be mad at this, but the legal grounds that this is all standing on right now? Sorsby and his lawyer are right.
And I think that's part of what
That's what muddies the whole thing.
That's what part is exactly. That's what makes it so difficult for everybody is when this goes to the Court of Appeals in Texas, all 4 judges went to Texas Tech. And so it's like we're now at the point where who is this guy, the quarterback guru guy?
Yeah, Nate Longshore.
Him saying this out loud is the truth, that it is unprecedented and nobody is going to argue that what Sorsby did is wrong. But when you start to unravel the whole situation and the ruling, the decision ruling, buddy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the American judicial system can be pretty corrupt at times. Okay? P. Diddy is in jail for 10 months.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Like there's stuff going on. When billionaires get hit with tax fraud, somehow it goes away. So there's a lot more at play that I think make this extremely complex and extremely complicated. We are now probably at the point where it's no longer about Brendan Sorsby. Mm-hmm. It's no longer about gambling on your own team. It's a larger picture. And we talked about this yesterday. It is shining the light on the fact that college football really needs help.
Yes.
It really needs help. Now, you and I agree we don't like politics getting involved. I'm not really interested in the United States government spending my dollar. They already bullsh about enough that I don't want to pay for.
It's not in the tax dollars or anything along those lines, although that is an issue.
So I want your time spent in other places. Okay? I need you focused on other things.
But not even just that. It's for me, it's more of like, what have they gotten right? I worked for the government. I've seen the $75 hammers. Like,
better be a nice hammer. And it's not. It looks like a normal hammer you get at Park Rose Hardware.
Things that are that big don't do efficiencies well. So I don't want them involved.
Let's take a quick break. Texas Tech put out a statement. Their director of athletics did. I'll read some key points from that next. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
Join The Fan on...
Kentucky, bro. That's Kentucky.
12th Annual Fan Golf Classic presented by Toyota is sold out, baby. Foursomes in this year's tournament at Langdon Farms Golf Club went in record time. If you missed out, you got to jump on it early next year when we do it again. A special thank you to our friends that made this year's tournament possible. Victor Rico's is back. Breakfast burritos pre-round, Matt's barbecue, feed and post round, and we're all going to be posted up at the infamous 6th hole, the Angels Envy Bourbon, where show hosts will be posted up all day. I just said that. The Fan Golf Classic presented by Toyota is also brought to you by Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson and Daughter Windows and Doors, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Maestro Dobel Tequila, Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, Ilegal Mezcal, Pub Beer Cheap Fun, Apex Golf Club, and Window Nation. We'll see y'all on the 23rd. Pivot here as Texas.
That's soon.
It is soon. It's 2 weeks from yesterday, I believe. A little quick pivot here as Texas Tech released a statement. Kirby Hocutt. I'm going to go Hocutt. I think that sounds cooler. The director of athletics for Texas Tech University put out a statement right now. I don't want to read all of it, but there are some very
It's long.
interesting kind of little nuggies here on it. And this is what he hammers on. Brendan Sorsby has not played a single down of football as a Red Raider. We'll evaluate his recovery, compliance, and readiness as we go. We're watching this closely. I understand that you guys are all pissed off. Here's some interesting stuff right here. Texas Tech is not a party to Brendan's lawsuit. We did not file it. We did not fund it. A young man in treatment for a clinically diagnosed addiction exercised his legal right to seek a remedy in court, and a judge agreed with him. Our role has been to support his recovery, not to engineer his eligibility. Let me be direct about what Texas Tech's position actually is. We are glad Brendan is still a part of our community because that is where we can extend him the best possible support in his ongoing recovery. But let's see. Pulling him out of a structured environment away from his team and his support system does not protect anyone. It might be a cleaner headline, but it wouldn't be the right one, and it wouldn't be true to the institutional values that guide us every day. To my colleagues, I understand the frustration. The situation is hard.
That's basically the AD version of what Nate Longshore said.
Basically, like, hey, man, we're kind of letting other people figure this out. And I
don't know if that's necessarily the right thing, but it might be. I think
there's some coach speak in there.
There is, but I don't think it lacks leadership, accountability, or responsibility on those kind of things, because I don't know if Texas Tech should be leading this. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
I
just don't know. Part of me thinks that Texas Tech should just say, this is too much.
I think they will.
But also, to Nate Longshore's point, like, it got tough, so you said no? I mean, don't get me wrong. That's your right. That's Here's the thing. It's going to keep coming back to this. If they were employees, it would very much be within their rights.
Mm-hmm. And that's
to
why
say, look, man, this is detrimental to us. We got to let you go.
And that is why I think it's kind of bullshit that other teams don't want to play Texas Tech. Because you guys are all doing stuff on your end. Mm-hmm. I know you guys are. Mm-hmm. Everybody is. It's how you win in college football. I mean, it's literally the blueprint. It all just became legal now. Mm-hmm. The argument of we're not going to play Texas Tech, it's Texas Tech's fault. No, it's all of your guys' fault. You guys are the reason this sport got this way. And college basketball is no clean, smooth criminal in this.
We want to talk about gambling. College basketball is number one,
dude.
We talk about just arrests alone for guys that are no doubt dyed in the wool guilty.
Also, North Carolina created a program to get a degree in. Mm-hmm. Okay, and college basketball is broken, but at least they've kind of kept it a little bit quiet. The NCAA and college football, they decided to make everything transparent, quote unquote. And now we're all seeing like, you guys are all a bunch of dirtbags. Every single one of you. Who's not a dirtbag? Look, I could sit here and tell you that I think what Lanning's doing down at Oregon is fantastic. I think he's recruiting very well. Mm-hmm. He's got a good message to the players. Seems like he's got that puppy humming. And I think they will win a natty under Dan Lanning.
You don't think that there's something shady
There's something everywhere.
And again, that's not a shot at Oregon. It's 100% happening at
and that's
high school at USC. It's happening at Washington State. It's happening at Oregon. Good God, do we want to go down the stupid list of things Oregon State has done?
That's why I don't want to see Nick Saban talking about this. Like,
yeah, it's
bro,
like, Nick, shh.
Yeah, buddy. You are as guilty of this as everyone. Do you think Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin, and Ed O didn't learn something from Pete? Why are all those guys successful?
Yes.
Because they learned something.
Look, do you think in Tuscaloosa that a cop has pulled over a player under
AJ
Nick's,
McCarron, he didn't, but I'm using him as an example.
That got pulled over one night and player X said, call coach.
Yeah. I had a couple
and a
beers.
state trooper calls Coach Saban at 2 a.m. Hey, I've got so-and-so here.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have somebody come get him right now.
Mm-hmm. And it might be Nick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, a phone call is made to Nick Saban.
Who picks up his quarterback, and that is a rough drive home.
You know what I mean? Like,
Dad's
if
real
you don't
bad.
think that happened at some point in time, at Alabama, at Georgia, at Florida, at USC, at Oregon, at Nebraska, at Michigan. Remember how great it was under Harbaugh?
That thing is falling apart.
You think that Sharon Moore was just not a dirtbag while Harbaugh was there? Are you out of your mind?
Who is one of the... I'm trying to think of, like, an extremely successful, super nice guy head coach. That's Chris Peterson, okay? Clean as a whistle.
I bet you
He ain't clean as a whistle.
Peterson and Whittingham are two of the cleanest,
Right.
like, I want to play for you coaches that I've ever been around. There's something there. Because
you can't win if you don't.
Look, man, I've had this discussion, like, by doing my job. Like, not just here, but, like, doing the TV and being in locker rooms and being around. Like, bro, the hardest thing about it is when you hear it, like, there's things that I have heard and seen that, like, it makes my stomach turn, man. Like, I don't like being around it. It's there, guys. Mm-hmm. If you think I'm just being cynical or this, that, or the other, it's like, oh, you're just excusing. No, I'm not excusing it. I'm not. It's so seedy and so. Everybody's like, well, we just need it out in the open. You say that until it's your own.
Easy ride.
Until it's your own, and that's honestly that's what Nate Longshore is saying. Is like, oh, the going got tough. It's like, whoa, this isn't us. It's been you. It's always been you.
And I think Rufio is saying this in jest on the YouTubes, but it's, college football sucks. We should just stop watching. That's where this whole thing breaks down because let's take the World Cup, for example, which is coming up. It starts tomorrow. I'm very, very excited. I think, and I talked with a buddy of mine who's English. He's from Manchester, and we agree the same sentiment. This is an absolute S show. When the games start and I'm watching on TV, I'm going to be hooked. And it's going to be a successful World Cup. Whoever wins we're going to remember that team for forever as a World Cup winner in Canada, United States, Mexico hosting in 2026. College football is the same way. You look at everything when you just have the 100 yards. When you just have that, it's fantastic.
When there's a game going down between the hedges at Georgia, Alabama,
you're watching.
Nothing else matters.
You're watching. You can spend the 3.5 hours watching that, 2 hours for a soccer game, 2.5 hours for a baseball game.
You step down off your soapbox until it's not about it anymore.
Because once that ball is hiked, like, you're hooked. I'm hooked.
That's why people have texted in.
I enjoy college. Okay, we were talking with Sprague and Dirt about this in line change. I am not going to tell you that that college football is better than the NFL. That would be an idiot thing to say. I enjoy watching college football more than I do the NFL.
Sure, that's totally fine.
And that's why I can hear all this noise and I still watch on Saturday. Not just my team. Like, what have I always said? The best thing to happen to me for, like, my career, honestly, is Wazoo not in a major conference. Because now I watch the Big Ten with no bias. I used to watch the Big Ten, was like, I hate all you guys. Because I grew up diehard Pac-10. We're anti-Big Ten. That's why we watch the Rose Bowl. Screw those guys. Now, I'll just watch.
People have texted in over the last week as we talked about this, and, like, there's been a lot of, I'm going to be nice here. There's been a lot of grandstanding and virtue signaling.
I think so too. Well, we want this to be a better thing.
I know. And I don't think it's necessarily, it is bad. But just take a second and pretend it's you, your family, your school, your brother, whatever it is. And if you think that you honestly want what you're saying, I don't believe you.
That's what you say about opening the can.
I don't believe you.
Trying to put the toothpaste back in.
Because the second you do that, like if we just, here's a perfect example. I get unfettered access to your cell phone and your search history at home. You okay with that?
I don't have anything to hide, and I'm not okay with that.
But you understand? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yep, without a doubt.
Because that, like, that's what you're saying. I'm not just saying that those specific things, but like that's the kind of thing that you're saying. It's I want full transparency. No, you don't. No, you don't, because everybody puts up a facade. Everybody has some version of like that they put out there that's not nearly as vulnerable. The second you get vulnerable, come back and talk to me. Come back and talk to me. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't either. I am not standing on a soapbox right now. I'm saying the reality is there's a lot of grandstanding and virtue signaling and passing the buck. And everybody talks about integrity. Tell me what AD or what coach is going to go out there and air out the empty laundry and blow up their job, their career, their family, everything that goes with it for likely the rest of their life.
Nobody is going to, but I would argue it might only take one. You know what I mean?
I think it takes a lot more than one.
Okay, I was wondering, like, if you were the guy, if you're the AD at Ohio State and you decide to fall on the sword, it could.
I think what they would do is they would pile it all on you.
They would just blame you.
It would
It's like the
happen
Sorsby thing.
Yeah.
Like, gambling is out of control in terms of the marketing, sponsorships.
But it's Brendan Sorsby's fault.
Yep, it's all Sorsby's fault. And I mean, Sorsby's busted in this.
Yes. No.
You can't do that, buddy.
Both can be true.
You should not be playing football.
No, both can be true.
But it is a culture that's been fostered by greed.
It's a lot of like just no. He did. I wouldn't do that.
And that's why I think it's bullshit that teams are like, we're not going to play Texas Tech. Kirby, okay, Curb.
Yeah.
Like, really?
I get, but
Texas Tech are the bad guys. Give me a break.
That's where we differ. I think that's just trying. What I get the idea. I think the tactic is wrong, but I get the idea of like, if we can't solve this in the legal manner, we solve it in another manner.
I understand that, but there's more legal matters that need to get solved that you don't want to do either.
I 100% agree.
I'm not watching college football anymore.
You remember that with the NFL and NBA and
Ducks open with Boise State, and I'm stoked for that game.
yeah.
I need
I'm
to
not
see.
going to do this.
I need to
I'm
see
not
how
gonna do
good.
that.
I need to see how good Boise State is.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes only,
There you go.
I will be watching Boise State, Oregon. Yes, yes.
Just to see what that spread is.
21.5, I think. We come back, Adam Schefter, kind of a small little Woj bomb, new age Woj bomb in the NFL that may be on the horizon. I'll read some funny texts, too, as well. There's Casey over there. He's got sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Game 4 of the NBA Finals is tonight as we get set for a 5:30 tip-off in MSG. A home team is still yet to win a game in the series as New York comes into the contest as 2.5-point betting favorites. Make sure to catch all of tonight's Game 4 coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:30. Over to the NHL as Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final was last night. The Carolina Hurricanes evening up the series at 2-2 as they took home the victory, winning 5-3. Game 5 is tomorrow in Raleigh as early betting lines show the Hurricanes as 1.5 goal betting favorites. We are just one day away from the opening match of the World Cup between Mexico and South Africa. Your men's U.S. national team will kick things into action this Friday at 6 p.m. as they take on Paraguay in their first match of the group stage. And finally, your Portland Fire will be back in action tomorrow night as they host Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces inside the Moda Center. The Fire come into the contest as 9.5-point betting underdogs, and tip-off is set at 7 p.m. But make sure to tune in to all the pregame coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when we get things started at 6:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football.
(503-864-6326) is the fan text line, or you can jump in on the YouTube chats. Panda, tell me, I still want to know about the UFOs, and Danny and I just spent the entire break talking about UFOs.
Bro.
So thanks for that, buddy.
I saw something come across the timeline day before, about some senator being involved with a direct knowledge of the moving of 4 different alien bodies. And like
the global conspiracy.
And I'm not talking about like foreign bodies in your elbow. I mean, 4 different species of alien. And apparently there's this movie, documentary, whatever it's called Age of Disclosure.
Well, Disclosure is the new Spielberg movie,
which
may tie into this. It looks really good.
It looks like Spielberg might be back.
I know. I want to see it.
Back, but
did Spielberg ever leave?
He had a couple in there that were not. Didn't he do War of the Worlds?
He did. I kind of liked it.
That movie sucked.
I kind of liked it.
It sucked.
I'm also maybe a Tom Cruise apologist.
Oh no, I love Tom Cruise, but like that movie was not good.
Yeah. Such a classic story too.
It is, and they kind of went weird with it. I don't know, but yeah, the whole thing it's a documentary by Dan Farah, and I want to get this in. The film features testimony from over 30 former military intelligence officials alleging an 80-year government cover-up of non-human intelligent life, including the recovery of crashed extraterrestrial craft and deceased non-human biological entities. Adding that to the watch list. I'm not tinfoil hat about much, but like, man. That might be it for me.
I know, dude. Why do you think we keep going to space?
It's weird how that NASA program has been ramping up a little bit more recently.
It really has, dude. The Artemis 3, that crew was announced. They're going
Artemis or Artemis?
Artemis. I think it's Artemis.
It's Artemis.
Artemis?
Greek god of the hunt.
Artemis. Okay, thank you.
Greek goddess of the hunt.
This group is going to space to work out commercial docking in lower level atmosphere.
Yeah, well, that's SpaceX.
Yeah. That's
like,
so Elon, I can fly to the moon.
Hate Elon all you want, but he's making space travel kind of cool.
Spielberg's responsible for Shia LaBeouf being in Indiana Jones. Still has a lot to make up for. Fair point, Bleak. Also on the text line, Harris, as a Cougar, does it pain you to have to give credit to Chris Peterson? Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. It hurts. I've said this story 1,000 times, and I will say it again. When Sarkisian left UW,
you're like, ha losers!
And laughed real hard and said, you will never get a coach better than Steve Sarkisian. And they hired Chris Peterson out of Boise State, who went 6-0 against Wazoo, 31-13, 45-10, 45-17, 41-14, 28-15, and the Snow Apple Cup that I was at, 31-13. That score's a little unbalanced because it was a closer game at halftime. But
he whooped that.
Chris Peterson whooped it.
He's a really good coach.
He is really good. And then this texter just follows up with, regarding Chris Peterson, as much success as he had, there's a lot of Washington fans who were frustrated that he wasn't willing to play, quote, a little dirty to help UW get over the top. And that might be true, but there's still skeletons in that closet.
There might be smaller, lesser skeletons. And then again, he went to UW because why?
It's better than Boise State.
Well, not just that, medical, because of his kid.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's right. Kyle Smith did that with Stanford. He left our program for basketball to do the same thing.
Yeah, it turns out when you get a kid that has a problem and you go work at a school that has an incrediand medical program, super helpful.
Look, I poop on their sports teams. I don't poop on that university.
No, it's real good.
It's real good. It's real good. And Peterson probably a lot like.
And you were almost a Husky. I don't want to hear it from you.
And Peterson probably akin to like what I think Tony Bennett, why he retired, is I think they just looked around and they were like, man, I don't like this anymore. Peterson's like, I got to a playoff. We had a shot. We lost. I made some money. I can do TV. And Tony Bennett's like, I want a natty. I don't like this NIL.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm out of here. And I think that's why they're both gone. Real quick, switching over to the NFL. Adam Schefter had this tweet that he thinks it's more likely than not that Aaron Donald will unretire.
I mean, we joked about it, but it was like I talked to Dame a week or two ago, and I asked him, how are you feeling? And one of the things he told me was not playing for the year, having a full 82 off. He's like, my body feels better than it's felt in forever.
And Aaron Donald's been out for 2 years?
I don't know if anybody's seen Aaron Donald lately.
I have.
If you want to go back and watch his workouts with Jared Verse when he makes him puke in his warm-up, it's not even the actual workout. It's his warm-up. I have no issues, qualms, questions about whether he's physically capable of playing. And if you want to Von Miller him and limit his snaps,
without a doubt,
and you're going to put him next to Myles Garrett, you have to double team them both. You have to.
You have no way around it.
So what does that do for everyone else?
You're
Nate
in big
Landman
trouble.
is about to have the greatest linebacker performance in the history of linebackers behind those two.
Yep.
He's going to
blow it up.
He's going to have at worst a running back picking him up, filling him in the hole.
At worst.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you dedicate to anyone else? You've got Fisk on that line too. You've got Puna on that line too.
Also, if he's healthy when you get to the playoffs, you look at him and you say, hey, bud, it's time to buckle up. You play every play now. And I bet you Aaron Donald goes, let's go get a chip.
Like, the idea, has there ever, I know this is going to sound like hyperbole, but has there ever been two players that great on a defensive line together?
Probably
Tampa?
the Purple People Eaters and the Steel Curtain.
Tampa in the early 2000s, maybe?
As good as Sapp was.
But who do you have next to him?
Maybe Baltimore in the early 2000s when they had Haloti
and
Suggs and Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Saragusa and Haloti. Are they on the line together?
Yeah.
Did they play together?
Yeah, Goose played nose.
Because I don't want
2 or 3 years.
to add linebackers to the conversation.
Just front four.
Just front four.
So that would have been Sizzle, Saragusa,
and
Haloti Nada,
Yeah.
and whoever's playing that other end.
Yeah. It could be you or me.
Because Ray Lewis is on the inside of us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. It's Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice.
Again,
that's a nice combo.
It is, but this is
maybe Justin Tuck, OCU Manura with New York.
Aaron Donald has the
technically a linebacker?
No, he's edge.
Okay.
He's an edge rusher.
Okay.
But I mean, Aaron Donald is arguably the greatest defensive tackle in the history of the game.
Most likely, yes.
No question.
Myles Garrett is one of the four best edge rushers?
5.
4 best edge rushers in the history of the game.
Dude, they had Anthony McFarland on that Bucks team too.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Again, I know. I caveat it by saying I know this might be hyperbole, but Aaron Donald is the best defensive tackle the game has ever seen.
And Myles Garrett is a bona fide Hall of Famer.
He's one of the 4 or 5 best edge rushers the game has ever seen.
It's him, J.J. Watt, and Reggie White for my money. Bruce Smith, maybe.
LT, but he's more stand-up
linebacker.
edge.
He's
yeah.
linebacker.
But, yeah, that's... I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. Now, how good is Donald still? Is he at the top of his game?
That's the big question.
Is he still really good? Yeah, and he's still really good.
And to bring this back to your point about Dame, that's my only hesitation. It is not that I don't believe in Dame. It's not that when people text in or say on the YouTube chat, like the Blazers are going to be so much better next year because they have Dame, it's like, I hope so, but I don't know what a 37-year-old off an Achilles is going to look like. I don't know what Aaron Donald looks like 2 years removed from the league. Now, I can have optimism. 100% I can have optimism, but I just don't know it until I see it.
Dame will be 36 in July.
36, excuse me. Sorry that I aged you, Damian. I know you listen
Aaron
to our
Donald's
show.
not coming off of an injury.
No,
agreed.
He's just, and that's the thing is like, having that time away and letting your body fully, that was one of the things that Dame really emphasized to me. It was like, I feel better than I have felt in a long, long time. Because that 82-game season is a grind.
Well,
when Aaron Donald retired, everyone immediately went, that's the Barry Sanders of the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That guy could play more. He's capable of playing
when he
more.
hung it up, he was still him.
He was that guy.
He was still him. Now, he's 35 now.
You're knocking on the, well, with Damian Lillard, with the amount of time that he missed, and Hallie's going to go through this as well, you are now more knocking on you've had rest than injury recovery.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
It's the injury recovery part is over. Now you're just body recovery.
And Dame's going to do, I've said this multiple times. Dame is going to spend this offseason ramping up like he would for any other season.
because now he trusts his body. It's
he's trusted his body for 4 months.
well, it's the concern we had about Tatum.
Yeah.
It's like
coming back too soon. And
yeah.
then,
Do you trust
he did kind of get a little dicey there at the end.
Mm-hmm. His opposite leg soft tissue
Compensation.
Yes, exactly. And we were kind of like, I don't know how this is going to work. And yeah, Allie and Dame are going to be able to go into training camp. I mean, you might always have that fear in the back of your head of popping it again, but you're going to be able to go into training camp ready to rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Jason Tatum, who's like, I'm going to play the last third of the
I
season.
need to chill a little bit now.
Yeah.
So with Donald, like,
Hey, but his kid can dunk now.
I want to.
Commercials are so cringy.
I just want to see the idea of Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett on the same line at the same time. Like, I don't care if you hate the Rams.
Oh, I'm down
If
to
you
see it.
don't want to see that, I question your football love.
Who dies more, Darnold, Purdy, or Jacoby?
Jacoby.
Yeah, I know, poor guy. Gunned down in his prime.
I'd hold out too. I'm gonna die. Pay me.
I cost money to die.
It's Lawrence
Brock
Taylor.
Purdy costs money to win. Sam Darnold costs money to win. I cost money to lose.
It's Lawrence Taylor in Any Given Sunday. Be careful with me. I'm worth $1 million. You know.
I'm worth $1 million.
Yeah. Because you're gonna die.
Let's get into Web Gems, everybody's favorite. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan Golf.
This is everybody's favorite Web Gems. Do it every single day at 11:45. But we'll also let you know what's coming up in the big nooner. We'll preview Game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight in New York City as San Antonio looks to tie up that series. Knicks are up 2-1. It will be a fun little combo we'll have in the big nooner. Oregon State introduces their new AD, so we can talk about that a little bit. See if there's any cool pomp and rah-rah from the Griffin man. We need a good nickname for him. We got to come up with a good nickname.
I think the Griffin is already.
The Griffin?
Just call him the
Griff.
Griffin.
Can we do the Griff?
I think
That's
so.
a little close to
Yeah.
the Grift. We don't want to call him the Grift.
Yeah, because we got a lot to grift about.
Got a lot to grift about. And we'll touch on why this wide receiver is still an idiot and will continue to be an idiot. But Web Gems is brought to you today. Well, it's like a repeat. It's kind of rinse and repeat here. Remember when FIFA banned water?
Oh, yeah.
FIFA has now taken that back.
Hey!
And what I find the most funny about this is it's more of, we talked about this the last time we did. I think we did it last week in Web Gems. Now, not joking aside, I'm a firm believer water is a right, not a privilege. And you should have access to water everywhere in the world, including stadium events, sporting events, concerts, the park downtown. Like, you should have access to water. But we laughed and said, like, you're creating this ban and pissing people off, and probably, 10% of people bring their own water in? Okay, now that you have gone back and decided to let people bring water in,
now more people are going to bring it.
That number's like 35% now.
Oh, I can do that?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Duh. Okay, so it's a one soft plastic 20 ounces, which is also 590 milliliters, factory sealed disposable water bottle. That is a good idea. I should bring a water bottle. Like, you done screwed yourself here, buddy. You done screwed yourself.
All press is not good press.
No, it's not. And that's like to our point about this like Sorsby thing we were talking earlier. I sit here and laugh about this and poke fun at FIFA. And, I read that FIFA has an office at the Trump Tower in New York that they pay rent to Trump directly. And there's nobody in there.
Weird.
There's nobody in there. But they rent it from him in New York City. That, my friends, is called a bribe. So there's all this like loud noise that makes this tournament sound like it's going to be an absolute disaster, when in reality, when Mexico plays South Africa tomorrow at noon, guess who's locked? Me.
Yep, you're in.
Absolutely locked. But hey, this is the PSA to anybody out there that's going to a World Cup game. Bring a water bottle and stick it to FIFA.
Fight the power.
That's a great way to stick it to FIFA.
Sorry, I've been fighting back a sneeze for like 30 seconds.
I can see one side of your nose is really red.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Allergies are just getting me
Live
hard
sneezing
today.
on the radio. Come
Yeah,
on.
no,
Come on, Danny.
I've only done it once in my entire career on TV or radio.
I think I did it a couple months ago.
You gotta let me fly!
I think I let one out a couple months ago.
I sprinted back from the bathroom, and as I was doing it, my eyes were like welling shut because I'm like, what is going on?
Look,
oh, God, allergies.
You have to understand, we are humans too. I get the hiccups too.
It happens.
Okay, I stumble over my words too.
I do that a lot.
It happens.
I talk for a living. The number of
Sometimes I swear in front of my kids and I try not to. Sometimes I might swear in front of you and I don't mean to.
You've gotten real close.
I've gotten real close.
Real close.
Real close.
The number of times that my soon-to-be wife has bullied me over stammering over my words. She's basically telling me, don't you talk for a living? I'm like, yeah, I do. Which is why I stumble over my words sometimes, because I talk too damn much.
Every time I meet my mom, she's always like, so let's talk sports. I'm like, oh, I just got done with work. But I don't want to.
I don't want to.
But I don't want to, Mama.
I love it, but also, can we not right now?
That's why my 2 hours after this show is like so valuable to me. It's like, shh.
That's why you don't want to go home.
Yeah, everybody's shh.
Yesterday, I was like, why don't you go home? You're like, but I have chores to do. I'm like, why don't you go home and do them? Because I don't want to.
Yeah, because I don't want to. I will. And I went home and I did my chores, but I just, shh, everyone be quiet for a moment.
I think I might go to the driving range today. Got a little bit
For
of time.
what? You're not going to play Joe in golf.
I don't know if it's going to work.
10 toes down, this isn't going to happen.
Yeah, I think the date change is going to mess with me.
And if you guys do it on Juneteenth, I'm not coming.
That's the thing is, I don't know if I can.
If you do it on Juneteenth, I'm not coming, dude. I'm trying to watch USA. I'm hosting a party at my house.
So we'll have to figure something out.
USA. USA. Let's get it, huh?
Like
You're welcome, USA.
Like you're gonna be sober. What time's the kickoff?
Noon. I really don't want to drink that early, but I probably will.
The fact that you like hiccuping in the middle of that is probably your dead giveaway.
Isaac Ropp's my hero.
Yeah. Well, you know.
It's good, dude. It's great.
Let he who hasn't drank on air cast the first stone.
Who hasn't drank on air?
I think everyone here has.
I have.
Yeah, I think everyone here has.
The hot corner used to be a spicy adventure.
That'd be me.
Oh, Casey.
There you go.
Oh, Casey's young enough that he has not.
Yeah.
We'll break you one day. We'll get you one day.
It happens.
Coming up in hour number 3, the big nooner. Let's talk about NBA Finals, huh? I can't believe we lasted this long without doing it. Game 4 tonight from New York City. Spurs look to even it. Loaded big nooner. 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
This is the International Soccer Report, brought to you by Gold PDX on the corner of Southeast Hawthorne and 18th Avenue. Food, spirits, football.
Penal. Y acá va Messi. Toma carrera. Lionel Messi. Gol. Gol. Argentino. Lionel Messi. De penal. Fuertísimo.
That is Leo Messi scoring a PK as Argentina defeated Iceland 3-0 yesterday in their last tune-up for the big one. The International Soccer Report is brought to you by Gold PDX. Argentina, I have no idea what to expect. They could be really, really good, and they could be really old. We'll find out. Join us on Friday, June 12th at Gold PDX. That's GOL PDX, as the firm will be broadcasting live when the Global Games' biggest tournament kicks off. Gold PDX. Food, spirits, football.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you see the most of Life with One Sports.
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Game 4 of the NBA Finals is tonight as we get set for a 5:30 tip-off in MSG. A home team is still yet to win a game in the series as New York comes into the contest as 2.5-point betting favorites. Make sure to catch all of tonight's Game 4 coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:30. Over to the NHL as Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final was last night. The Carolina Hurricanes evening up the series at 2-2 as they took home the victory, taking down the Vegas Golden Knights 5-3. Game 5 is tomorrow in Raleigh as early betting lines show the Hurricanes as 1.5-goal betting favorites. We are just one day away from the opening match of the World Cup between Mexico and South Africa. Your men's U.S. national team will kick things into action this Friday at 6 p.m. as they take on Paraguay in their first match of the group stage. And finally, your Portland Fire will be back in action tomorrow night as they host Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces inside the Moda Center. The Fire coming into the contest as 9.5-point betting underdogs as tip-off is set at 7 p.m. But make sure to catch and tune into all the pregame coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when we get things going at 6:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time.
2 down, 1 to go here. The firm of Harris and Marang. We do this bad boy every single Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you for being a part of our day. We are stoked to be a part of your day. Thinking about the rest of your day, you get a bonus hour of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 1 to 3. His normal show from 2 to 3, but you get bonus. School's out for summer, so no Duck Insider till we get back to August and football. And then it's prime time from 3 to 7, finishing up our 13 hours. Started with the boys, Dirt and Sprague this morning. Finishes up with prime time, live, local, continuous, regional sports talk radio. We'll get to little Oregon State this hour, San Francisco 49ers, and then we'll circle back to this Giannis Blazer discussion we were having earlier. You'll have to remind me what we were talking about because I have already forgotten.
Real quick, just want to sprinkle it in here. You can bring this back for closing arguments when you start naming pitchers tonight. Mm-hmm. Shohei Ohtani, through 10 starts, has the third lowest ERA of any pitcher since 1913. 0.74. The guys in front of him are Jacob deGrom in 21 with a .56 and a guy named Juan Marichal with a .59 in 1966.
Dude, deGrom in 21 was so good. So good.
That's how good Shohei's been.
Side note, before I derail us too hard, is Jacob deGrom a Hall of Famer?
We were doing this debate off air the other day.
I think he is.
It's the longevity of pitchers and the numbers around them has changed so dramatically. He might be the one that breaks it.
Yeah, is he the first cycle of the new ones that
because he's just so overpowering in his span?
Mm-hmm. He just didn't get really to the bigs till he was in his 30s.
Yeah, he's the second fastest pitcher in MLB history to reach 1,900 career strikeouts.
Yeah, see? But he didn't get to the majors until he was in his 30s.
We were talking about him and Chris Sale.
Yeah.
Because Sale didn't get the wins because he was with the White Sox forever.
And he was on some not good Red Sox teams.
Yeah.
Same with Kershaw.
No.
Same with Kersh. Kersh was on a lot of bad Dodgers teams.
And he was real
good. Ooh, I like DeGrom a lot. The NBA Finals are tonight. Game 4, San Antonio in the Garden. New York Knicks trying to go up 3-1. The Spurs go 2-2. I'll tell you what. We talked about this a little bit yesterday and how important this game is tonight.
This is everything. This is either we're going 7 or the Knicks are winning the series.
The Knicks are the Knicks more desperate to go up 3-1 than the Spurs are to tie it 2-2?
No.
I think the The
door is open at 2-2. It's best of 7. Now I would take the Spurs, or best of 3. I would take the Spurs in that.
I would most likely as well.
You're throwing dice at that point.
Yeah. The desperation level still falls on the Spurs tonight. Because I think because
3-1 is it's not impossible, but it's damn impossible.
Right, but to your point, we're all going to take the Spurs if this ties up tonight. Can I argue the desperation factor may be on the Knicks? Because if the Knicks don't win tonight, dude, I don't think they're winning this thing. And right now, I can make an argument they're winning it.
Yeah.
But after tonight, that's when I get a little squirmish.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, like, if you're doing a best of 3 and 2 of those games are in San Antonio, well, the Knicks have only won, the Spurs haven't won at home in this series. Like,
I don't care.
You know what I mean? Like, but, I mean, if it does go 7 and you are playing in San Antonio, that's the reality of that. So
I'm not worried about the home road stuff right now.
I think comfort does play a part, and I think especially in a Game 7.
In a Game 7, yes.
That's where I come down to it. But we also saw what the Spurs did to OKC in Oklahoma City in Game 7.
If you're the Knicks tonight, are you more focused on an offensive adjustment from Game 3 or a defensive adjustment?
Offensive.
It's your bread and butter.
Yeah. You're a good defensive team. But
you're a fine defensive team.
No, they're good.
Yeah.
They profiled us. They're the 8th best defense in the league.
Cat's been pretty good defensively, and we thought he would be a liability.
I think they're going to have to rain from 3. I think the way they got here was just bombing on teams.
And you think
on an incredible clip.
And you think you just chuck?
I mean, I don't think it's ever just chuck. I just think number one, you need to have paint pressure that forces. There was, God, I want to give credit. I can't remember who it was. I was reading something and I was going back and forth with somebody else in the league. But essentially, the Spurs defense, yes, they have good defenders outside of Wemby. Steph Castle is a very good defender. Keldon Johnson is a good defender. Dylan Harper is a good defender for a rookie. Harrison Barnes is a heady defender. Devin Vassell is a good defender. Fox is quick, even if undersized. Like, they've got a plethora of good defenders. Luke Cornett is a good defender. He's a good rim protector. But what they have in Wemby is a cheat code. Mm-hmm. They don't ever have to double team anything, so you can stay home. And in order to break that, you have to make somebody leave somebody, which means you have to be a paint threat, or guys have got to bomb from 3 to pull Wemby out of the paint.
Yep, and the Knicks were really successful on that in Game 1 and 2, pulling him out of the paint. And in 3, it was a disaster. You know, that game was closer than it probably should have been, honestly, because San Antonio was the better team that night. But you let San Antonio get into their rhythm. And I think the Knicks have been very good about keeping them out of what they want to do.
Here's maybe a spicy take, and maybe this is my bias. I think in all 3 games, the Spurs have been the better team. I think in closing time in Game 1 and Game 2, the Knicks closed.
Hello, my name is Jalen Brunson. My name is Karl Anthony Towns.
I think they closed. That's what I think happened.
And to be fair to the Knicks as well, they could have done it in Game 3 as well.
They could have. But that's what I mean. But I think the Spurs have been the better team. They've come out and kicked the Knicks in the teeth in the first quarter in all 3 games.
All 3 games. And to the stat you gave yesterday, which I did confirm, you are correct. No points scored by Cat in the fourth quarter. That can't happen tonight.
No.
That can't happen. Like, literally, when the fourth quarter starts, Jalen, give the ball to Karl and go get a bucket. Just end that. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Just get out of that.
You can't go 2 of 9 from the 3 in the second half.
It's like James Harden. Are you going to turn the ball over more than you have shot selection? Okay, bud, in this game, let's get you some 3 quick jumpers right off the bat. Okay, let's get you going now. Just to break that kind of narrative, because I don't follow this stuff. I don't think about it. It's like, but you do.
Yeah, they all see
but you hear it. Even Mike Brown is probably sitting there looking. He's like, you know, we got to optimize Cap better because he's not scoring in the fourth quarter. You just got to get that monkey off his back.
There's certainly a mental part of that, but I also think it's like you can't be so Jalen dependent. Yeah, it's like
Chuck said that in Game 3. He was like, y'all went back to being Jalen dependent, and you can't. You got too many good players.
Well, the problem with that is it's the Wemby problem. Who else can create consistently with the ball in their hand? Who is going to give you rim pressure?
It's Jalen Brunson.
And if
smallest guy on the court, too.
And if guys are going to stay home on shooters because Wemby's there, like that's why I call it a cheat code. You do all the things you're supposed to do. You beat your guy off the bounce. You create the advantage. Wemby's in the paint. Ain't nobody else helping because you've got the 7'6" guy that can cover 20 feet in 2 steps. And when you get there, you give all the credit in the world to Jalen Brunson. The shots that he hit to win basically Game 1 and Game 2 were otherworldly.
They were tough.
Insane difficulty, but touched nothing but the bottom of the net.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can just... It's great that he can, but if you're relying on that night after night after night, those crazy difficult shots, even though he has the capability to hit it, that's the Kobe of it all. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, just because he can do it doesn't mean you should go to it every single time. Because basically what the Spurs are saying is, we're going to play the odds. And yeah, you can break glass in case of emergency for Jalen Brunson, but eventually that button's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Because the numbers just bear it. Now, in a 1-game, 2-game, 3-game split, it might work. And he might pull magic out. We saw it in the bubble. How many times did it happen for teams? You know?
The Heat were the bubble team.
It can happen. Mm-hmm. But eventually, what ends up happening?
It eventually crashes.
And so you've got to find a way to be the team that you have been through the playoffs, which is having everybody involved. But everybody can't get... It's a chicken or the egg. How do you get everyone involved? Well, Jalen Brunson breaks a defense down. Well, what happens if Jalen Brunson can't break a defense down? Then everybody can't get involved. So then it becomes incumbent on OG, Mikhail, Josh to become more of initiators and more of creators. That's not necessarily where they thrive. Okay, Kat, can you take advantage of a mismatch? One of the things that came out of the first 3 games is that there were some switches where a small was on Kat, and the Knicks did not take advantage of it. If you're looking for a lever to pull for the Knicks, when De'Aaron Fox or Steph Castle or Devin Vassell get stuck on Kat in a mismatch, find a way to get him the ball. Doesn't mean you need to go to an old school straight post up. Get him in the middle of the floor. Put him as a playmaking hub. He averaged 7 assists coming into the series. Put him more in the middle of the floor. Make Wemby have to step up a little bit and have some room behind him. Work some cutters in behind. Like, those are the kind of things, like, if you're looking at the micro adjustments, that's what I look at. When you get a mismatch, find the mismatch.
I got a weird feeling that the Knicks are going to win tonight.
I don't.
I just, like, my brain says I got Spurs even in this thing up. Mm-hmm. Just because of the talent level and their level of desperation. And this isn't a shot at the president, but I wonder if in the Garden, without some of those distractions, and just like a normal night at the Garden, that crowd is going to be electric tonight.
I mean, it was electric in Game 3.
I think it might be bigger.
It could be, but also I can
just
see
like the longer waits to get in. Again, I'm not bashing the president. I do that firmly in other ways. But take that out, and you're just a normal playoff Knick game, dude. It's going to be easier to get in. We were talking about this at the Motor Center. Mm-hmm. If you get in and you got good vibes, you're more likely to spend more money. Maybe you grab an extra beer. Maybe you're a little louder today.
Maybe punch another Spurs fan on the way out.
Don't do that, guys. I got a strange feeling that they're going to hit shots.
Flip side of it, that Garden can go quiet.
It can, and it's deafening. When Steph Castle hit that shot, I watched Shamalama just go, throw his hands in the air and turn.
When Wemby hit that 3,
that was another one.
Before the Mike Brown challenge, that Garden went quiet.
Mm-hmm. And if the Spurs, here's the thing: the Spurs have
a lot on their sleeves in that crowd.
The Spurs haven't been able to do is keep a lead. What if they keep a lead tonight? Because that's the thing is they've built big leads in all these games. The Knicks have clawed back in. What if the Spurs? What if that defense that we saw in the fourth quarter for the Spurs
is in the first quarter?
Is in the first, the second, and the third, and you're just going.
And the fourth,
back it up.
And the fourth is just
the Knicks trying everything desperately, and all of a sudden you're going into Game 5 going, oh crap, they figured it out.
The only thing I would say to that is I don't think the Spurs shoot well enough when they're not playing great defense.
Agreed.
When they play great defense,
and that's the thing is we haven't seen
the same on the offensive.
We haven't seen the Spurs offense really show up in this series yet.
It's a symbiotic cycle.
What happens if it does?
If it does, it gets real scary because the defense has been there. Yes. Remember, the Knicks are a high-powered offensive team.
And
they're gonna get buckets,
and they're not scoring efficiently.
Not percentage-wise, no.
So, and again, I want to give the Knicks the credit too because defensively they have done well against the Spurs.
If the Knicks lose tonight, that fan base is going to melt down.
It'll be bleep Trae Young all over again.
Yeah, I think it will.
I'm here for it.
What does ESPN do if the Knicks lose tonight?
Oh, it's meltdown city.
Do they just turn and pivot to Wemby?
No, they're gonna find somebody to scapegoat.
Oh, it's gonna be Cat.
It's gonna be Cat.
They're always going to scapegoat Cat because he has the most trade market value, and they're going to be the guy that they want to get rid of. Look, if you trade out Cat for Giannis on this team, the way this team is constructed, I don't know if they're better.
Oh, I do.
That's not a Giannis thing. That's just Cat is that valuable for what he's bringing to the table. The big man shooter has been so valuable to them that I don't know if Giannis makes them better.
He does. Defensively, he's so much better.
I think they're going to start to indict Bridges. If Bridges has another bad performance,
That's where I live.
And they
That's where I live.
They won't go after Josh because they love him.
No, you won't. Well,
He does too much for the culture of the team.
And Josh does too much that's not scoring. OG's the same way. They do too much on the court that's not scoring. They get passes. If any Knicks fan is going to sit here and tell me, I need Josh Hart to get 20 points tonight, it's like, bro, you don't watch this team. Brunson's never going to take the heat. OG and Josh are too important, non-scoring. Bridges will probably skate by because, like, what's the market for Bridges?
2 points on 1 of 5 shooting?
Like, what team out there is going, if we got Bridges...
If he hit the market, there'd be multiple teams involved.
But do you think that he's a guy that you're going to push you over the edge?
I think a lot of teams would talk themselves into that. Multi-positional,
versatile. Is that a good idea to talk yourself into that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Bridges guy.
You're a Bridges guy because Dame's a Bridges guy.
I've been a Bridges guy from the jump.
I'm just teasing
I love him.
Oregon State brought their new guy, the Griffin, into the house. We'll talk there next. 105.1 The Fan.
The biggest...
The biggest soccer tournament in the world is right around the corner. You can start the weekend early and join the firm of Harris and Marang on Friday, June 12th from 10 to 1 at Goal PDX, GOL PDX. Catch the action on the big screens with a cup of your favorite beverage. An expanded viewing area at Goal PDX brings a block party feel throughout the entire tournament. That's what they do there over there on Hawthorne. They just shut down the block. You show up, we watch games, we drink alcohol and eat food and hang out and have a great time. You can join us and the fan at Goal PDX on Friday, June 12th from 10 to 1. Canada will kick off pool play at noon. Stick around for the United States match after. That's at 6. They'll take on Paraguay. The Global Games local party is presented by Cricket Wireless, the Grand Prix of Portland, and Milagro Tequila. Talking to our AEs out there. It's going to be a pretty good party. The brand man will be there in person. We don't get lowercase, for he has actual duties to do. He has a real job here at the station, not just like Daniel and I, who have fake jobs. Casey has a real job, but you said you were going to show up later, right?
I'm going to come see you.
Okay, all right. USA at 6 o'clock. Should be a fun time.
I will not be there for that.
For the show? I'm going to need you there for the show.
No, for the after.
I know, I'm teasing you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not leaving until that Canada game's over.
I will probably leave when our show's done.
That's sad, dude. Canada, dude, man, they're my dark horse.
I'm good. Good.
I see. Showing your true colors here. Nope, don't like that.
Oh, I don't like Canada?
Yes, you don't like Canada.
There you go.
I know you don't like Canada. Oregon State introduced their new athletic director, Kevin Griffin, who we're workshopping nicknames. Right now, we're the Griffin. Just the Griffin.
Okay.
We chose not to say the Griff because that got too close to the grift.
And it can't be KG for obvious reasons.
Can't be KG. K-Griff? No, it's Ken Griffey
Ken
Jr.
Griffey Jr., yeah.
Could we call him the kid?
Grifter?
The Griffster? That still seems too close to grift.
Yeah.
And we don't need more grifters in this world, Danny, if you catch my drift there. Anyway.
I think I might just convince people that his middle name starts with an E, so we can call him the Keg.
Keg?
The Keg. Ooh, yeah.
Kegger?
Kegger.
There you go.
We might have got it, guys. We might have gotten it.
I know we're going to get into it. From what I read of everything that came out of this, sounded pretty damn good.
Dude, I think they might sneakily be doing things the right way down
think
there.
they might have made a good hire.
Yes.
What matters, Harris? Optics.
Optics are big. This is about a 20-second clip here. Kevin Griffin introduced as the Beaver AD.
Our rightful place is atop the Pac-12 mountain. Let me repeat that. Our rightful place is atop the Pac-12 mountain, and our teams are going to compete for conference and national championships. We will modernize our operations to maximize our brand value on a national stage and drive long-term financial stability required to compete at the highest level.
You come from Ohio State. I believe you know how to make money, buddy. I believe you got to know how to make money.
I believe that.
The early stages of Griffin's plans are making, quote, 3 or 4 hires, including a COO and a CRO, both of which were in the works prior to his hiring to, quote, maximize our brand value on a national stage and drive long-term financial stability.
I love that they snuck that in there. Hey, whoa. We were doing this before he got here. It wasn't just his idea. It wasn't just his idea.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, also at the same time, everybody is doing this.
Also, why not just give him the credit?
Yeah, why not?
Why insert that line of this was being done before?
Well, there's a lot of PR cleanup that's needed down in Corvallis, and so far they're doing a correct job.
Just give him the credit.
Well, I think they want to make sure that people are realizing, or people think that the chancellor, president, and everyone above are also doing a better job.
Don't. Because they didn't. Give the new guy the credit. Like, if I'm Oregon State, I'm going shiny, nice, good. See? Like, it's a very minuscule thing, but like hearing that, I'm like, that felt like a very unnecessary line. You're an Oregon State guy. Does that sound like an unnecessary line?
Unnecessary.
Right? Like
it felt like a dig for no reason.
It was like, hey, we're not all dumb. It's like, see, we're actually okay. It's like that. There's a little bit of CYA
it's like,
there.
Wait a minute. No, you didn't need to say that because we already knew that the previous guy, we already called you guys dumb.
You know what I mean?
We're trying to give you your flowers.
Highlight the good guy. Like
your flowers.
Build the pedestal up higher.
Don't start smelling the roses differently now.
Yeah. It's a very minute thing, but like hearing that, I'm like, why would you put that line in there? It's a weird line to put in there.
The COO will likely have a background in athletic administration, which Griffin does for his time at Ohio State, Seahawks, and the Cleveland Browns. The CRO will be tasked with much of the challenge of generating new revenue sources because they make $20 million less in the new Pac-12 than they did in the old one. Some quotes here from the Kegger. There's some commercial opportunities that aren't fully monetized at the moment or optimized at the moment. There are many other opportunities around as you walk around campus and talk to the folks around commercialization that we can do a better job of. Not that folks weren't trying in the past, but there are new ideas that we can bring to the table.
See, he said it.
He said it out loud.
He said it.
He said it out loud.
That's what I'm saying. Let him be the guy that says that, hey, look, there are definitely places we can improve. Not that they weren't trying before, but let's do this better. Because when it comes from him, it sounds better optically. Does that not sound better?
Sounds kind of like what Tom Dundon's saying to me about the Blazers, too.
It's just...
Be better.
But how you say it matters.
That is true. That is true. All signs for me point to this going in a very good direction.
I mean,
I like your football. We'll see about the football coach. I'm worried about his kind of inexperience. But I believe that basketball program might be onto something.
Oh, did you hear what he said about baseball?
And if you keep baseball up and alive and well, dude, you got 3 main sports right there. This could be a sleeping giant in the Power Six, the group of 6.
Not forget you got a few Olympians in the gymnast.
Yeah. He flat out said, like as far as baseball goes, that's our war dog. Don't expect anything to change there.
I like that.
It's not the big revenue generator, but we win, and we can brand that.
Can brand that.
It's not a, hey, let's pivot all into football, basketball. It's like, no, don't get it twisted. They've been doing the damn thing. We are staunchly behind them, and we're going to invest in them.
Now, the only problem is you got to get results.
Well, that's why I'm saying with the baseball has gotten results. So you sit there and you go,
and basketball under Tinkle is a roller coaster that Six Flags argues is best.
Let's not argue that, again, Oregon State wasn't doing that before. Baseball was getting a whole lot more love than the rest of the programs. Again,
because they won.
As a student, again, when you walk around Oregon State, you go, that's a baseball facility, that's a baseball facility, that's that. Everyone else,
fall in line,
do better.
And that's what it sounds like Griffin's doing. Like, everything they've done so far over the last 6 weeks, 2 months, I'm like, well done, Beefs.
Home run.
Here we go. Whether it was the basketball hire.
It looks good.
The football hire.
We'll see, but it looks good.
And but optics shape so like if you let's just say that Odyssey was just a complete and utter hellscape. Let's just say that it's a complete and utter hellscape, and we dreaded coming into work every day. Do you think that impacts us?
Without a doubt. Dude,
Yes.
it goes back to when you're waiting in line to get into the arena. Good
Yes.
vibes carry on, and good vibes can be monetized.
Yes, it can. And that's the thing. It's like, so if you optically have, like, the Blazers right now, optically, not great. But you make a move for Giannis, you make whatever move you make, and all of a sudden, optically, the basketball product looks better. You can sell that. You can get. I'm telling you right now, like I don't think they're gonna land Giannis, but I do think they have a legitimate chance. If they make that trade, do you think that a team featuring Damian Lamont, Ollie Lillard Sr., and Giannis Antetokounmpo are going to be dead last in sponsorship revenue?
No, I don't.
You can sell that.
You can sell that.
You have the face of Adidas basketball and one of Nike's premier guys. Global icons. Both top 75 players of all time. Do you legitimately think that there's going to be a blank space on the baseline for a sponsor? Absolutely not.
I also think that if you're Oregon State and you build these optics the way they are right now, we know somebody in this building that has been down to Oregon State practice or spring stuff. And I don't want to dox them on the air just in case they don't want me saying this. But they said to us, everyone is 1-0 already in the Pac-12. Like, they mentioned to us that Oregon State is not going to be very good at football this year. But a new AD, new optics, fan base has a bigger leash. If that's a new head coach and Scott Barnes is still there and everyone's still pack it up, bitching and moaning,
pack it up,
and they are as bad as they might be this year.
What does Danny say at the end of shows?
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, exactly. And your fan base is out. Now You go,
You have runway.
Well, the keg, I love the keg, and we'll see what basketball does, and we're still focused on baseball. Football is rough this year, but the new stadium sure is fun. The new conference, well, let's give this another year.
Hey, you know
two.
what? Shepard did some stuff this year that I like.
Exactly. And if you still have, the previous administration running things and the optics being as bad they are,
It's burned down.
3 games in, you're like, I'd rather have Bray.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't think you do.
Why does Scott Barnes still have a job?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's just
You're allowed. You're willing to go through the rebuild.
this is what we're talking about, the difference between taking like the Blazers job versus the Bulls job. It's optics, optics of things, and how runways change for you. If you come in and take this Blazers job right now, and they make a move for Giannis, it's you better do the damn thing. Meanwhile, if you take the Chicago job, it's like you got a leash, you got a little bit of runway. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true. What pressure do you want?
Optics matter.
Let's get in a little bit of NFL chatter as this wide receiver, well, you just won't shut up. That's Casey over there. He's got sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Game 4 of the NBA Finals is tonight as we get set for a 5:30 tip-off in MSG. A home team is still yet to win a game in this series as New York comes into the contest as 2.5-point betting favorites. Make sure to catch all of tonight's Game 4 coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:30. Over to the NHL as Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final was last night. The Carolina Hurricanes evening up the series at 2-2 as they took home the victory 5-3. Game 5 is tomorrow in Raleigh as early betting lines show the Hurricanes as 1.5 goal betting favorites. We are just one day away from the opening match of the World Cup between Mexico and South Africa. Your men's U.S. national team will kick things off in action this Friday at 6 p.m. as they take on Paraguay in their first match of the group stage. And finally, your Portland Fire will be back in action tomorrow night as they host Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces inside the Moda Center. The Fire come into the contest as 9.5-point underdogs as tip-off is set for 7 p.m. But make sure to tune into all the pregame coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when we get things going at 6:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher.
Arguments coming up next to send you on your way. But a little nuggie in the NFL that I wanted to get to today. Well, that is Brandon Ayuk. You know, sometimes I forget about Brandon Ayuk.
It's probably better that way.
Until he opens his mouth and says things, and I go, oh, right. You know, I feel like I'm so far removed from Brandon Ayuk actually playing on the field that I don't remember. I know what you're going to say, but like I don't remember if he's any good or not. I know you're going to say he's good. I know he's good.
Well, he has the potential to be very good.
But you know what I mean? Like the off-field issues have gotten so loud and so large with him that I don't even remember him as a player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're the Niners, you won a playoff game last year.
Let me tell you, I'm
without
so
him.
glad my Raiders dodged a bullet.
75 catches, 1,342 yards.
That's a really
7 touchdowns.
That's a really good productive wide
Average
receiver.
18 yards a catch.
Mm-hmm.
For a San Francisco team that has Super Bowl aspirations.
And I still wouldn't put up with that crazy for him.
And led the NFL in catches over 12 yards.
Quote, you want to know why they really mad, though? They mad because they stupid. They dumb. They mad that they paid me $50 million in 8 months and then voided my guarantees for 27. And I'm about to be on a new team in 27. They mad at themselves for real. Blanks acting like they mad at me, but they stupid mad at they self. Does he know that he's going to get cut? Because that's the weird thing about the whole situation is that he is still a 49er. If they can void all his guarantees,
like if they can, is 2027 guarantees.
Yeah, but if you can void all his guarantees, why not keep him on contract and prevent him from playing? That's the real move.
That's what they're doing.
That's unprecedented.
Oh, it's happened before.
Has it?
Yeah. Guys have gotten real close to it, and then all of a sudden they figure something out.
Oh, and they get cut or traded or they've end up playing.
They get dealt somewhere. Like they control his rights.
I mean, that would be the ultimate way to deal with Brandon Ayuk, I feel like. Don't let him play. Don't let him capitalize.
Look, I'm for the players' rights.
Of course, me too.
But there's also, I think a lot of players think that they're that guy, and they're not, especially in that league.
And especially at that position. Look, Ayuk is good. How many wide receivers are you taking over Ayuk? If there's no off-the-field drama, how many are you taking? 10?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. He's very good. I mean, this is not the same thing, but hey, Case, how about Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah. You sit out for a while and you don't do anything, and then all of a sudden your career is not very great. And that's the fear you could have with an Aaron Donald, to circle back to that conversation we had earlier today. But Aaron Donald doesn't strike me as a guy that would be...
He didn't let himself go.
Exactly. And
he also doesn't have the wear and tear of a running back.
And Le'Veon Bell is the kind of guy that gives me the impression that he would.
Not just that, Le'Veon Bell's also crazy.
And that's what I mean. It's the impression of, I don't know what you're doing with that year off. Back to the Damian Lillard thing. I know what Tyrese Halliburton and Damian Lillard are doing with a full season off. I'm aware of what those guys are doing. I don't know what Zion Williamson is doing in a full year off.
It's a trust factor. Like, do you trust Brandon Ayuk?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. And you would be doing him a favor by trading him somewhere else.
Where he wants to go and go get paid.
And I don't think he deserves a favor by them right now.
Well, there's some pettiness involved there. I get it.
Of course there is.
On both sides. But
there kind of should be.
Yeah.
If you're San Francisco, that would piss me off.
Yeah.
Especially you're a team that really needs help at that position. And your window is here. You are competing for Super Bowls.
Your all-world tight end is out for the year.
Yeah, apparently going to be ready for week 1.
We'll see that.
Again, this is the difference between looking at a team's window and looking at a player's window.
Without a doubt. He would be so valuable to them right now. And the fact that he is a liability to them, I don't blame him for being petty. Hell, I might do the same thing. And I'm the nice guy. Remember that?
There's levels to it, man. Like, if you're him, if you're Justin Jefferson, if you're Jamar Chase, do I want this from that guy? No. But do I at least understand a little bit more?
We talked about this when Seattle won the Super Bowl, and then JSN gets paid. And you're kind of like, for all we've seen, JSN is
got his head on.
Smooth criminal. Like, real squeaky, kind of the right guy you want to build around.
Paying guys that don't call the Larry Fitzgeralds, the Tim Browns, like paying those guys, you have no issues with. But the thing is, those guys are so few and far between.
And JSN, we don't know if he'll turn that way. I don't think he will. I would be surprised. But again, to your point about Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. If JSN turns into a head case, you getting 1,700 yards for me and 100 catches?
Yeah.
Be a head case all you want, bro.
You had the head cases of all-time head cases, Antonio Brown.
Greatest receiver probably to ever play the game. Tony Totap.
No, but he was worth the freight.
100%. There was real conversation when
for 4 years he was
no receiver had ever been mentioned in MVP conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about Antonio Brown. And that's a crazy statement to bring up.
I can't let you live that one, Casey.
But for 4 years,
Understood.
He was worth the freight.
I'm taking Jerry. I'm taking Terrell. I'm taking Randy.
Yeah, but again, for 4 years,
and all of them are a foot taller than him.
Yeah, but
that's why I'm taking them.
But also, like, he was worth the freight until he wasn't. Ayuk is not, for me, worth the freight of that crazy.
No, because you still hung on to Antonio for a few years. Miami took the flyer on him, like they did with Tyreek Hill.
I mean, Raiders did it. Mm-hmm. Like, remember? Frozen feet?
And then what happened to Tyreek Hill?
Hot air balloons?
When Tyreek Hill wasn't worth it anymore? Bye.
Mm-hmm.
He gone. That's 5.
There is a level. There is a level where the crazy's worth the freight. I don't think Ayuk's worth the freight.
Yeah, I don't either. Be interesting to see what happens to him. Let's get to closing arguments. We'll circle back around. I realized I remembered what I forgot, Danny, and it's that you are in the Moda Center more than anybody I know. What do you want to see improve there? Finish up there. 105.1 The Fan. All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information, coming up on the program tomorrow, it's a 10 toes down kind of Thursday, so we'll get to that. Obviously, we will chat the NBA Finals, Game 4 reaction. We'll get to the draft stuff we wanted to today. We got sidetracked with Texas Tech, and it's the birth of the World Cup, at least this year's. And so we'll probably start peppering in some World Cup stuff for you as well. A reminder, we'll be at Goal PDX on Friday. GOL PDX. That'll be a fun time. Come out and say hi and hang out with us. Let's see. Nothing really to clean up here. If you're interested in a little baseball action tonight, some good pitchers on the bump are going to be George Kirby for your Seattle Mariners. Shohei Ohtani against Jared Jones tonight will be a nice matchup. LA versus Pittsburgh. Framber Valdez on the mound for Detroit. Chris Sale for the Braves against Davis Martin for the White Sox. That is a sneaky, very, very good game. Mackenzie Gore, Seth Lugo, and Texas KC. Shota Imanaga, Michael Lorenzen, Chicago and Colorado. But you're most likely going to watch the NBA Finals. At least I think I am. I'm going to try out my new chair.
Most likely.
I'm going to try out my new chair and watch the finals tonight.
There you go.
My TV's small. But I did get the green light to get a second TV for my office.
Oh.
So then I can have the big TV that I will mount on the wall.
Properly.
Thank you. That will be where, like, for example, tonight, that the NBA Finals would be on that. Mm-hmm. And then my little TV that used to be in my room when I lived in an apartment as a bachelor, that will just be permanent baseball TV.
There you go.
That TV will just be for baseball games.
Just one channel.
One channel.
I
probably won't even get like an Apple TV box for it. Just use the Chromecast and just throw a game on.
There you go.
Yeah.
You found a way to divide and conquer.
We're coming up Millhouse here, dude.
There you go. I like it.
Coming up Millhouse. We had the conversation at the beginning of the show, and if you missed any of that, first hour is up right now, the podcast. Go back and listen to that. We were talking about the Moda Center and some renovations, and we went through the political aspects of it and kind of the money aspects of it. But what I find more interesting about that, because I refuse to get into this, the Blazers are going to leave Portland conversation. I don't have the bandwidth for it. I don't think it's going to happen, and I think it's fear-mongering, and I'm over it. My real question is, what are we going to do with the renovations in Portland? Now, Danny, I teased this a couple times today. You are in that building more than any of us here combined.
I've been in that building literally over 1,000 times.
Yes. So you know that building kind of in and out, and you probably get into your routines when you're covering games. You go the same door, same elevator, talk to the same people, but you are still in there. You hear things from other people. Where is the money best spent for you? Look, if there's steel beams and cracks and concrete, yes. But I'm talking about kind of the more amenities situation.
Well, I mean, they did some steel work to the seats 2 years ago and moved some things around. That did make things better. I would say seats, because those, for the most part, those are original seats in the building, and they're not great.
They're tight.
They're a little tight.
We're all getting a little squishier in our old
Not
age.
just that, like I went to the Sphere this last summer, and just adding like 2 inches to the seats and having like
huge climate pledge, dude.
It does make the experience a lot more enjoyable. And I know that means like less seats in the arena and those kind of things, and revenue limiters and all those things that come with that. But that's for game day experience. I think that is a big one. The setup of the building itself, it's just a circle. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And that
aren't most arenas?
No.
Really?
No, they're not.
Maybe that's the old school arena.
It is. It's very like Memorial Coliseum is it's a glass box, but it's kind of
Matthew Knight in Eugene is basically a smaller NBA facility for a college program.
And just to have there's not a lot of space in the concourse. It's pretty tight. We have media meals, right? And I'll go stick my head in and see what they got that night. And I'm like, that ain't good. So I'll go up to the concourse and grab,
a sandwich or a pizza.
Whatever offerings they got up there.
Yeah.
Usually I go to Bay's or Killer Burger or something like that. Just, something decent. And just walking through there, even like an hour before the game, I have to fight through so many people to walk through there. Because it's so cramped, because they've set up all the little kiosks, and not just like the store, but like the team store itself is pretty small and stuffed into a corner right in that main
I know
entrance,
exactly where it is.
Clothing. Yeah, it's like just the layout in general is not great. Like trying to do activations is really difficult. And then every game, I think it's 45 minutes before the game, they do the parade with Blaze and Douglas Fir and the cheerleaders, dance team, and all that kind of thing. And they go through and they bang the drum. When that goes through the concourse, man, good luck.
Yeah.
It's just super tight.
Does the halftime show create problems when they do that on the concourse?
Well, I mean, it's not on the concourse. I mean,
Is it not right there on the concourse? You see all the people behind waving and
No, it's down on the. I mean, the halftime show's on the floor.
No, you know what I'm talking about? The show they do.
Oh, you're talking about the broadcast.
Yeah, the broadcast.
That's it. That's actually probably one of the more open areas.
Okay.
There is a little cutout right there where.
Because I've actually never seen that with my own eyeballs.
Oh, yeah.
I must not ever sit around wherever they do
Gotcha.
that. But I was wondering, like, does that make it cramped? Because at halftime, you can't cramp concourses.
No. And that area
It's
is
your
actually
second, third most trafficked spot of the day.
Yeah, no, that area is actually, there's like a cutout right there up against the glass. Like it does impede into traffic a little bit, but not that much. But yeah, just like having that go out set up differently. They do a really good job of like the food options already. And I think if you have more space, you can have more options, like those kind of things. Having like fan activations, there's only like one that's kind of a unique area, like just not having that kind of thing. The video boards was such a massive juice. Like it feels way different.
I haven't seen it with my eyes yet.
The Blazers brought a bunch of media in when they got them done before the season, and I walked. They had the lights completely dropped out, so we got the full effect of them, and that and the new scoreboard. It was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Like it changed the feel of the building drastically because it felt like a modern arena again. And to be honest, I think if they do renovations, I think they would change the scoreboard out again. I think they would change the entire. Just talking to people at the Blazers, like there would be whole walls blown out. Like the design of the seat structure itself and the suite structure,
everything would change.
It would change drastically.
Suites seem to be nice. I've been in one for not a Blazer game, but
they're okay.
Okay,
they're okay.
I guess I haven't been to a suite anywhere else.
Yeah, they could definitely do with some changes there. But the entry and exit, infill, exfill, they could definitely change that.
I feel like
more space, having more doors, having more access.
Where you were talking the watch party, what would be kind of across from Dr. Jack's there, the steps that go down. I feel like that's the only entrance.
There's another one on the other side, on the Mac side, and then there's another one on what street is that? That goes north south there. God, I can't remember. Anyways, but nobody comes that way because it's limited to like buses only, and Max line, it's just a pain in the butt.
Open the whole thing up then.
And there's no parking there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You do need to
You're
have.
not casually walking up by that entrance.
No. Like you need to have, entry points and exit points. You have to control traffic. You can't just like have doors around the entire place. Like that's not feasible. But just having better control of that, I think would be a lot better, but that goes beyond motor renovations. That goes into the parking structure, the street structure, everything around it. Like if you had a skyway, like I said, that went to the other side, if you have restaurants on the other side, things of that nature, those are different projects.
I think you could also lean into the economic disparity of a 100 level, 200 level, 300 level. Why not? Make 300 level Thunderdome up there.
Yeah.
Make it wild.
The problem with
make 100 level feel more bougie.
Well, which they want to do. Every team wants to do that, but every team can't be the Warriors.
I know.
They aren't like.
There aren't tons of tech bros.
When I've told you like what the valuations of the Warriors, like, well, after Steph, I'm like the players don't really matter that much. It's the environment. It's the environment. It's the capital around
and
it.
the wanting to be there, being seen.
Yeah,
there.
you have Nike. Yeah, you have Adidas. Yeah, you have Intel. But outside of that, you don't have Fortune 500 companies. So the suite structure is a little bit different. But there's a lot of things they can do.
Closing Arguments brought to you by Less Skin Law. Visit LessSkinLaw.com for more information. Less Skin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. Thanks, everybody. Nice little show today on a Wednesday. You can go back and check that out. Bonus hour with Luke Anderson coming up after us. We will catch you all tomorrow. For Danny Marang, that's Casey Smith. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.